Doves, Caught by the River on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington, doing the button stuff. Actually becoming a little bit of a producer.
Karl,
he's put a bit of work in, hasn't he? He's come up with a few games, and we made him. He's getting a bit stressed when we shout at him because the mics don't work or it's hanging off. It was too hot in here. He couldn't get the thing working last week. I mean, I really would throw this studio away and get a real one.
Yeah. Well, I'd get one of those ones you can buy for like tenner from Argos.
Argos, yeah, like Bon Tempe. My first studio.
my first
with a little picture
studio.
of Karl on it. Yeah,
exactly. That'd be great product placement.
What have you got this week for us, Karl? Because again, we've put very little. I said I would put. I'm not hungover, but I've put nothing into
Rick, have you done any work for this week's show?
No.
None whatsoever? No.
Okay, Karl, what have you got? What have you got? Quick. Keep them, it's 5 past, they're turning over already, they're finding other things. There's Melon Sue, there's everything. Well, go on.
We've got, after the success of last week, Rockbusters.
Okay.
We're doing that again.
Sorry, were you on the same show as us?
I thought it went alright last week.
Yeah,
okay.
Good.
Right, so we'll be doing that, got some nice prizes, which,
what prize, what arbitrary films have you got? Have you got?
Don't tell them yet, don't tell them.
I'll tell you what, if it's Children of the Corn 2, then can I enter this competition?
There you go.
No.
What is that?
He's got some different prizes. Maybe I should just tease the audience with those a bit later, Rick, because there's some exciting stuff there.
It's gonna be amazing. Yeah.
Right, so
I don't want to give too much away, Rick, but one of them is a copy of The Office on DVD.
Is anything like maybe Burt Reynolds' straight-to-video film? Are there any of those in
Sadly,
there?
nothing quite as classy.
Fist.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
so we've got that lot to give away.
Yeah.
We've got,
Go on.
educating Ricky, where teachers stuff.
Because you taught me that people used to eat tomatoes off lead plates in the land of Narnia last week, which was good. Yeah.
No,
Is it only tomatoes they ate off the lead plates, by the way? Why didn't they think other fruits and vegetables were poisonous?
No, it wasn't. It was because tomatoes had acid in them. That was the problem. You see, you don't listen, right?
Well, lots of fruits have acid in them.
Yeah, but they didn't eat them back then. they didn't have bloody kiwi fruit and stuff.
Don't
did they,
say
back then?
bloody. You're a producer. You'll start saying shit and cock and stuff. You start saying bloody.
Tits.
Play the.
Hang on, right, and...
Go on, play
keep him hooked, right?
Yeah.
We've still got a song with a story in it.
Yeah. You don't want to play Babushka, do you? He doesn't like the idea of Babushka. I told him that was a story.
Yeah.
And, he doesn't like it. Devil went down to Georgia. Someone sent in. You know, he's looking for a soul to steal.
Yeah.
Doesn't like it. Why don't you like that?
Do you know the song?
Not particularly.
Right, it's a song about a lad who goes into a pub on a normal night. And
it's in, sort of the deep south of America, New Orleans, something like that. It's, you know, it's not the old Kent Road.
Right, okay.
Okay, go on.
He goes into a pub, there's a devil in there, who's getting a bit cocky, he's had a bit to drink, and he's saying, do you wanna, sort of gamble your soul away with me, and we'll see who's best at playing the violin.
Yeah.
And, I think the lad wins in the end, but it's not real enough. Whereas the one...
Oh! What? Not like the Shadow that got fed up and started pushing kids off bikes?
Rick, I think you're referring to stuff that no one made sense of last week.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think we should refer to last week.
Let's play Mock Turtles, Can You Dig It? And then we'll come back and we'll talk about that.
I've come to the conclusion, Rick, we should never refer to stuff Karl said in the past, because it would just take too long to explain.
Okay, alright, that's fair enough. Mock Turtles. Can you dig it? What I've done there is I've taken the title and I've done it like I'm talking to someone.
Sure.
XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
So, Karl, how excited are you about Ricky's celebrity boxing match? Are you going to be there? Are you going to come along? Are you aware of this? You're aware of all this, aren't you?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
We can't name the opponent, because that should be a surprise, but anyway, it's for a charity, it's a charity, boxing match.
Yeah.
And,
I've always wanted to beat someone up for charity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a good cause.
But, the thing about Ricky is, I don't know if you're aware of this, Karl, but Ricky's one of these men who, you know, he doesn't mind sort of, you know, making a fool of himself on the telly and being funny and stuff, but if people said to him, right, you can either be Britain's funniest man, universally agreed that you're the funniest man in Britain, or you could, like, beat some gangsters up in a pub, he would go that, oh, please, just let me beat people up in a pub, and maybe like an old man's being hassled, like, by some street youths, and you come in and, like, smash some bottles over their heads and sort of sort it out.
Against the odds, though?
Against the odds, yeah, there's about 5 of them against you.
Sure.
So, because he's got this kind of...
Get to the point, come on.
Well, the point is, he quite likes the idea of being sort of macho, and you know what I mean, and kind of a tough guy, you know, because he grew up in a rough...
like boxing.
Yeah, but you'd love the idea of people going, don't mess with Ricky Gervais. If someone said, don't mess with Ricky Gervais, that would be exciting, wouldn't it? Never mess with Ricky Gervais, he will destroy you. That's what you'd love.
Go on.
Because you used to do karate, didn't you? You were a karate.
Oh, I used to go, yeah.
Didn't you get all the way up to white belt?
No, I was one away from black, and then I stopped, because that's what I started working nights.
Oh, yeah,
See?
one step away from black.
Oh, was it?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I was chatting to him last night in the pub, because, obviously the boxing match is in about 5 weeks' time, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
and, anyway, he, was sat there, Carl. I don't know if you know this about Ricky, but, he's taken to smoking cigars.
No, I do.
Are you aware of this?
I had the occasional one.
He got a cigar, he got like a Monte Cristo out of his pocket. It was ludicrous. He looked like George Papard for the A2, wasn't it? It was pathetic, and he was drinking Guinness. And I was saying to him, but aren't you doing a boxing match soon? And,
I haven't started training yet. I'm starting training next week.
You're not concerned that it's gonna have an impact?
Well,
I mean, what I'm saying is, you know, like, the boxers, they normally put in some effort and stuff.
Like years of training.
Yeah, I mean, what, you know what I mean?
Getting up at 5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause you reminded me of Frank Bruno when he was preparing for Panto. Not when he was...
I don't think he even smoked then, did he, and drank? No.
So I don't, what's your thinking, Rick? Cause you know you're gonna get your face pummeled. You know that, I mean, they're gonna destroy you. You haven't got a chance.
That's why I left it this long, so I definitely lost my looks.
But you haven't got a chance.
You're having a laugh.
Have you ever taken a punch to the face?
Sorry, listen, sorry.
But I'm genuinely concerned.
Is this sort of psychological training? Because...
No, it's not psychological training, it's a warning. I've spoken to your friends and your loved ones, and they all agree we've got a petition going. We're sending it to the BBC. Please do not let this man box. Anyone else, please. But they're gonna beat you. Seriously, I mean, have you ever had a punch, like a boxing glove, in the face?
No.
I think you should let us punch you next week live on the show.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
No, because because you've got to get used to it. Because I think you're gonna either, cry, just start crying uncontrollably, or just run away. You'll just run away. You'll just climb out the ring and run off.
Yeah, this is the same tactic that Ali used against Foreman in Rumble in the Jungle.
But I just...
Oh, dear.
Because I think a boxing glove... Because I know you're wearing, like, huge... Aren't you wearing, like, huge kind of foam boxing gloves?
We're not, no, we're not. We're using, not normal, amateur ones.
Are you wearing boxing gloves like those ones they used to have on Gladiators? And everyone bites the dust. Those big foam gloves. You just slap each other in the braces.
Yeah, exactly. And a big sumo suit.
Exactly.
So, I should be okay.
Do you get to, you get some kind of head protection, do you?
Yeah, it's amateur. It's amateur, so it's
amateur, you say?
No, I mean...
So there's no title?
No, I mean, I think the amateur is head guards, vest, and, 16-ounce gloves or something, as opposed to professional, which is no vest, bare-chested. Oh,
right.
Maybe I can ask to fight bare-chested, because I'd quite like to show off my body.
Yeah.
If I could.
I think wrestling is really better for you. But I don't mean like those kind of like The Rock and people like that. I'm talking about Big Daddy, Giant Haystacks, that kind of...
That'd be good.
Where you can just throw yourself on someone.
Where they can sort of like be nearly dying, but then they can do a stomach butt.
Yeah, exactly.
It's stomach to stomach. That's a good move, isn't it, in British wrestling? I always like that one.
Yeah, no, I think wrestling,
dear. Like two elephant seals fighting over a female.
Is it true that you've spent, knowing you've spent more time deciding what tune you're going to enter the ring to?
I want to come out to California by Tupac and Dr. Dre. I think that'd be really good.
I think that's embarrassing.
And I'm going to come up with loads of little midgets to make me look really big.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know what the BBC think of that, but it might be a...
I don't know. Maybe we should take some suggestions as to songs that would be perhaps more appropriate.
Okay.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
A fatty bum bum.
Yeah.
Play a record, Carl.
It is gonna be...
He's dissed me.
It's gonna be pathetic.
He's dissed me.
Next week, you take a punch to the jaw next week, on air.
Turing Breaks, long distance, on XFM 104.9. On the way in, right, you know those little cars? They look like a little bubble car. They're modern ones. They look like half a car.
Is that like a smart car? Is that what called?
They look like, they just look like a toy car, and you can park them sideways.
Is there only room for two people?
Yeah, it's just like the half of the front of a Volkswagen just cut in half, right? And, I saw one going on Oxford Street, and it's a police car. A real police car, right?
Really?
Yeah. And, I mean, I thought, well, what happens if they have to chase someone? They couldn't, but I don't think that's the point. Because it was written on the side, it said something like, cleaner, something, more efficient. So I think they're making the point that we're cruising round in this car like we're on the beat, and it's using less energy and stuff.
Yeah.
But the first thing I thought of, right, was that those two policemen, they must have been going, oh, Sarge, don't let us have that one. Can't we have the Granada?
Yeah.
I mean...
It's so embarrassing.
I know, you know, police, they're doing,
But you've got to respect them.
Yeah, of course,
street toughs have got to respect
exactly.
them.
I just don't know if you have to...
Well, the only thing more embarrassing...
What if you're really tall and you have to climb out of one and you're a copper? Are there any policemen out there who have been asked to drive one of these cars? If you're listening, do you think police listen to this?
The only thing that would be more embarrassing is if you had to patrol on one of those bikes the goodies used to ride. That's the only thing I think that would be more pathetic.
A pogo stick?
Yeah, it's so embarrassing. Or on roller skates.
Yeah.
But not like roller blades. Roller skates, those really old roller skates.
Have you seen
that you tie on your socks.
Yeah, have you seen those little bikes that look like clown bikes that the couriers use now? They're about a foot high. They're little
I saw one the other day on it. My head turned, yeah. They're really bizarre.
Just think
they're the ones that they fold up.
Yeah, but think of policemen chasing you on that.
Well, I always remember that even in America when I started seeing policemen riding bikes. It didn't seem to me, it seemed...
Oh, they're quite cool. They were the ones that go through Central Park on the mountain bikes.
Know,
yeah, but that's really cool, isn't it? They, you know, they
it looks like they should be delivering
whiz along at about 30 miles an hour and they can just deliver
do you know what I mean? Because, like, on motorbikes, on a Harley Davidson or whatever, I'm not messing with a cop. Chips, now that's cool, coppers.
Yeah.
But people in a smart car or, you know, it is a bit embarrassing.
But I suppose it is that or it's better than walking. You see,
next we'll see them in those. If you really want to be kind of worried about the environment, you know those little taxis you see that people pedal. They pedal around Soho.
Yeah, and when it's like a riot squad, there's 4 in the back.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
But that's the thing, right? If they need to arrest someone.
Yeah, here we go. Go on.
No, well, what do they do? Because they do only sit 2, so do they have to flag a cab down or something for the criminal?
We'll give you the money. Get a receipt.
You definitely will go there. Yeah. You definitely will, because we've been caught this way before.
Exactly.
The last bloke, he just ran off. No, I won't run off. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Policeman, I'll take your car. Then okay, go on then. Yeah, you definitely bring it back though. I will. Well, isn't there something in America where when they arrest someone in America, they don't take them back to the station and fill out all the forms, they just take them back to the station, and then they go and fill the forms out in a cafe or something, so they're still looking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carl told me that.
They're what? So they're still on patrol, is it?
Yeah, so they said they're doing all their paperwork, but they're in the, a cafe window and they're looking out.
Do you know, like how they say in this country so much police time's wasted by having to go back to the office and filling out loads of forms?
That sounds like some policeman going, yeah, I could get a lot more work done if I was in a Starbucks.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of criminals in the pub, and if I would, you know, and I get to keep the receipts.
Yeah, I mean, what's safest is if I didn't wear my uniform and probably got drunk.
Yeah.
With some mates.
Or a lot happens in, you know, looking out my bedroom window, so if I was just like snoozing, snoozing, and when I heard a noise, I just popped, look out, oi!
Yeah.
Come here.
Yeah, apparently there's a lot of crime, in Marbella over the next 2 weeks. You want to pay me
so if there's a policeman listening who has to drive one of those cars, were you annoyed when your sergeant
It is the most embarrassing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, I think the pogo stick.
Pogo stick, well, not
the pogo stick. The triple tandem. That's great.
Tandem.
We should get that.
We should get when
we do our road show. Carl does all the pedalling. Yeah. I'm in the basket in the front.
Hello, Western Superman!
Play a record, Carl. What have you got?
What do you want? Mott the Hoople?
Oh, Mott the Hoople, yeah. Dug it out of the library. Yeah. It had one, it had greatest hits, which was enough, wasn't it?
What have you got for us, Rick?
Roll Away the Stone, I think. Coldplay, The Scientist.
Have you seen the video for that?
No, but...
Absolutely magnificent.
Is it?
It's brilliant.
I was the one who was walking backwards in the woods. Oh, yes, I have,
Absolutely extraordinary. Well
I like all their videos.
Coldplay.
I think they're great.
Yeah.
I still haven't worked out how to do that one with whether it's a filter, they just turn up the light, because it gets light through the duration of the video.
Along, yeah. Impressive, yeah.
And it's slow as well, so he must have...
I'd like them to win an award.
I'd like them to win awards. I like Coldplay.
Yeah, no, good luck to them. Rick, can I just... Sorry, I don't mean to abuse our position again, but... Bruce Springsteen's performing in London tomorrow night, and you remember I made an appeal to try and get a free ticket. Yeah. Well, I don't even mind paying. I tried to pay, but
that's good of you. No,
I'm a generous kind of guy.
And I thought you were me. No, go on. What are you going to say? You were going to pay for a ticket. You know, face value. I mean, you don't want to be ripped off, do you?
No, don't be crazy. You know, ideally half price.
Yeah.
And I've been chasing kind of my tail, really. I'm not going at the moment. I'm not going, and I'm desperate to see him, man. I mean, he's going to do a great concert. It's his only one in London. I can't believe that being on the radio, being on XFM, you know, the listenership's going up apparently. I can't believe I can't get a ticket. I've asked Carl. He's done nothing. No,
Carl had a very good point.
Nothing.
Carl, say what you said when he was whinging in the
but first of all, whilst you're moaning, you also asked in the week for a Badly Drawn Boy album.
Yeah.
You got in today.
Yeah.
There's one there for you.
Well, but it's yin and yang.
And it's like, but I do, you know.
Carl, what's Steve ever done for you? That's what you got to ask yourself. What has Steve ever done for you?
Well, he took me to the BAFTAs. Yeah, but only 'cause no one else would probably want to go with you.
I can't believe that.
What is this?
I do not believe that. Oh, Steve, I'm gonna stitch you up now, Carl. And it's in a nice way, and don't worry, it won't be too bad. He won't take it too bad. Carl sent me a little text message today.
Right.
No,
Oh, what is this?
Right, okay. Okay.
You know, I'm in a very frail mood at the moment.
No,
I'm
you're
not
like
going to
this
see
one.
Bruce.
This is funny, because me and him have been, like, sending, trivia back and forth to each other. Which is another point, right? I sent him... Oh, well, I'll get to that in a minute. I thought he'd really be amazed with,
Well, while you're fiddling, if you can make my dream come true, to go and see Bruce Springsteen tomorrow, then give us a call on the usual number.
But like I said, Steve...
What?
Right? It wouldn't be... Right, you just said when the song was on, can't believe it, right? We work at XFM, and I can't get tickets for Springsteen, right?
Yeah.
We work in radio, we should get tickets. Right, now think
Which
of the
I'm willing
amount
to pay for.
Yeah, but think of the... Yeah, but if it's sold out, it's sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
but that's just something they say.
Right, that's just what they say, is it? Right, so everybody on local radio stations say, do you know, I like that Bruce Springsteen, I want a free ticket, right? So another say...
I tried to phone, I phoned for an hour and a half, I couldn't get through.
Not long enough.
I've put the hours in.
Not long enough.
Not long enough.
What are you talking about? I've put the hours in.
No.
Right? So another 400 people turn up at the gig. They cram them all in. There's people being crushed. You know, they've paid the money early. They were up early that day when the phone lines were open, whilst you were probably sleeping and that. So they're dedicated, and they're the ones at the front getting crushed.
What?
Would your
Why
mum and
are they
dad
getting
be
crushed?
happy if you were there getting crushed?
I don't mind, I'll sit at the side of the stage and watch him.
Yeah, but
I don't mind.
But everyone will say that then, and then
What?
before you know it,
Yeah.
no one can see anything
No,
because you're all
Carl's
on the
right
stage.
on this one.
Leave
Right,
it.
yeah,
Leave
just
it.
read, right, I'm gonna give you this here. I'm handing over my mobile phone to Steve to read the... You can see it's from Carl at the top, but just read it out as you scroll down. Just read it out loud.
Is this a text message from...
Yeah, this is a text message to me from Carl. Read it out.
To see at night as well as an owl, you would need eyes the size of grapefruits. If only Stephen could turn his head right round as well. Carl, I can't believe it. What upsets me most, Carl, right, is not the fact that you've been slagging me off behind my back. It's the fact that you've got the cheek to come on here and moralise because you failed to get me tickets and make a dream come true. You've come on here trying to pass the buck and say that it's a health and safety problem, when in actual fact it's a Karl Pilkington problem.
See that, I've got it in a bin.
I'm devastated, you know,
I didn't thought, let's play a record.
I'm
I should
upset.
have eaten this banana off air.
What's the number?
It's 08700 800 1234. But if it's sold out, Steve, it's sold out.
A bit of a classic here. R.E.M.
I bet if Ricky wanted to go, it'd be fine. I'm sure someone could sort it out then.
Who?
Oh, if Ricky Gervais wants to go, then
I'm
you can
going.
come. Are you?
No.
You want some tickets, then?
U2. Electrical Storm. That's great. That's great, I love that. On XFM, 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington. Carl, I want you to tell Steve what you told me in the week. About the snake, about the anaconda, how to... Right, this is Carl's method. He's not scared of the anaconda, the 30-foot long, biggest, scariest snake.
No, you were talking
the
about
world.
stuff, weren't you, about in jungles and that, and animals.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember reading about, say if you're in the jungle, and you get tired and you go to sleep, right, and you sort of wake up and you feel something on your leg, and you look down, and it's an anaconda, right?
Yes.
And it's swallowing your feet, because apparently they always go from the feet up. They never eat you from the head. So,
Okay, shall I save these points to the end? Cause
Make a list of the points.
Cause they always eat head first, cause the way the fur goes, where they have to take a capybara or even a rat, they take it from the head
But
first.
make a point.
Okay,
Make some notes.
okay, so that's
Rick.
wrong.
We'll come back to
Okay,
this
next,
later.
go on, so they always eat you from the feet, go on.
So they're swallowing your feet, and it said on the website, if you wake up and you see this anaconda doing that, sort of eating away at your feet, don't panic.
Don't panic, I'm just writing this down, don't panic. Well done. Okay, go on.
Don't try and kick it off.
Okay.
Just let it sort of swallow you. But only up to your knees.
Okay.
Why not kick it off straight away, cause
I think it sort of gets a bit angry and it starts thrashing about, and it can swallow faster, I think.
Oh yeah.
I'm guessing that bit.
Okay. Just put a question mark by that.
Okay,
there, Rick.
pop a question mark next
So,
to eat
so
knees.
yeah, so it's up-
eat knees. So
it's-
eat it up to your knees.
It's up to your knees,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
what you do is, you get a knife,
Yeah.
Okay.
and you cut.
And how do you get a knife? Do you walk over to the kitchen?
I was
or-
gonna pop over, get knife. Where's that come from? Get
Well,
from
you
the knife.
always have a knife.
Always have a knife, of course you do. Otherwise you're a fool. Always have a knife, okay?
Well,
Eat-
come on.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go into a jungle,
Always have a knife. Okay.
Always have a knife, yeah.
simple.
Could I just suggest something? You know, suppose you're wearing combat trousers, and the knife is actually in the trousers by the knee, the sort of pocket by the knee. What happens then? I suppose you could still reach into the mouth, couldn't you? So anyway, you've got a knife. Let's say you've got a knife. Let's say you've fallen asleep, the anaconda's it's chewing your feet, you let it eat up to the knees, you've got a knife, what do you do then, Carl?
Right. So it's up to your knees, and what you do, you get your knife that you got out of your pocket earlier, and you cut it at the mouth, right? Do you know, like, either side of the lips?
Right.
So you're sort of cutting it in half.
Right, like a Chelsea smile.
And it can't, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It can't do anything. It wasn't ready for that. It can't move about because it's got, like, your legs in its mouth. And peel it off and walk away.
Okay. My main point, really, is this, Carl. Never will an anaconda or any constrictor, python, boa constrictor, just start eating a sleeping man. He will crush you to death first. That's why they're called constrictors. They're not called gobblers, are they? Or holy swallowers. They're called constrictors. Why would he start eating something? Is that how they take down antelope? Just start chewing their leg? Oh, it's gone off. I'll tell you what, lads. They get together, this next one, they said, I'll tell you what, we're losing a lot of prey by just living at their ankles. They're running away. Let's crush them to death first so they can't move, then we can swallow them. You're a fool.
So anyway, right, so I was telling him this bit of information because we started a feature last week. Well, week before.
Sorry, Carl, can we just go back to the crushing you to death first?
Yeah, but, well, I read it.
He's won there. He's beating you there, Rick.
Okay. Did it say what to do if it starts crushing you to death first? No. Did it say what to do? Supposing it had this meeting, and it started crushing you, and you woke up and it was actually round your chest. And every time you tried to take a breath and breathed out a little bit, it just tightened its grip, because it can feel that. What'd you do then?
You sort of tighten yourself up anyway, because I've read about that.
Yeah.
If one does start wrapping around you, you sort of make yourself into a ball, first of all, and it'll wrap around you, but it's alright because you're protecting your lungs, so it can't crush you, and then you just sort of shout for help. And you
shout help with this 30-foot snake. Do you know how it works? It gets as tight as it can, it can feel as tight, actually as tight as it can, right? With these huge muscles, right? Yep. Right? When you leave a bit of breath out, it tightens again.
You won't be that out of breath, you haven't been running anywhere, so you can just go.
What, and when do you get the new mouthful of oxygen?
Just breathe very slowly, like you do.
How? Do you know what breathing is? Do you know what breathing is? It's extending your rib cage, right? Intercostal muscles between the ribs. Contract like that. Okay, making the rib cage expand, which pulls air in through. It's like a bellow. That you can't just breathe via the mind. It's a physical process. It's your rib cage pulling over.
Maybe I'm special, but I can do little breaths without my rib cage.
Play a record, Steve.
Yeah, you're special.
Play a record.
No.
You can't take little breaths without moving your rib cage.
Can I just give you the titles, because we're running out of time, we've got a competition to do.
Okay, alright, let's just leave the anaconda discussion. Why don't you agree to disagree, and we'll see who survives if you crash land in the jungle.
Right, so,
what is this? What are you doing now?
This is educating Ricky, right?
Oh, good, I'm gonna look forward to this.
Yeah. 3 topics that I teach you every week.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I should just remind people, you normally summarise each of these in a kind of bullet point heading, which you tease us with, so what have you, reduced them to this week? Right,
we've got, Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Stocking, Aitken and Waterman, good.
Yeah, what else have we got? We've also got, what else is it? It's not his vault. Yeah?
It's not what?
It's not his vault.
Okay.
Yeah? And we've also got, get a lobe of this.
Get a lobe of this?
Yeah.
Carl, they're genius. Rick will be choosing one of these after New Order.
Foo Fighters and All My Life on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Just before we do educating, Ricky, this is where Karl thinks he can give me something of interest and teach me something to take away. Last week I found out that, somewhere in a strange land, people thought tomatoes were poisonous because they ate them with lead. Things like that. What was the other one you told me?
What else was it last week? Bit of worms. Cut me off.
Yeah. Oh, I sent him a text message. I was on the train, a bit bored, and I read in, I think it was Metro, scientists have found out that, worms get stressed, and they found out that, the fat ones, didn't live as long. And when they checked the thin ones that lived longer, they found out they had a gene for de-stressing them. Right? Carl, do you remember what you said?
No.
He went, well, that's stupid, isn't it? He said, did these other ones die of natural causes? I went, yeah. He went, alright. Because it could be that the fat ones couldn't get off the pavement quick enough and got squashed. So maybe the scientists go, yeah, we didn't... yeah, they come to think of it, they were flat as well as fat.
I think the reason that the, worms are getting stressed is because, people like Karl are cutting them in half to try and make 2 snakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two worms.
Well,
Yeah.
well.
That's the concern.
he said they can't even commit suicide if they're stressed by cutting their throat. I also sent what I thought was quite interesting, that the scientists have found that the elephant hasn't got the best memory. The sea lion has,
Right.
based on they've got a sea lion and they got it back into the old laboratory. 10 years after it taught it a simple trick, and it could still do the trick. What did you say to that, Carl?
I'd say they don't get up to much anyway, so if you do teach it something, it is going to remember it.
Sure.
Because it's got nothing else to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it also, I mean, I like sea lions, they look nice and everything, but what do they do?
What was it? Sea lions?
Yeah, what are they here for? It's another jellyfish, as far as I'm concerned. It's like, it's there and people know about them, but what do they do?
Yeah. What does
What do we do? What do we do, Carl?
Well,
what do we do?
A cat, first, Steve said, is good for your heart. So you
Why is it all geared to what's good for us?
well... Anyway.
Educating Ricky.
Good, we've settled that then. Go on.
The titles that are, meant to sort of pull you in.
Yeah.
We've got, what was it? Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Yeah.
You've got It's Not His Vault. And, Get a Load of This.
Get a load of this. So, which pun do I pick first? I think I'll go for, get a load of this.
Get a lobe of this.
Yeah, get a load of this, yeah.
Well, that's a story about a girl who, she was deaf, right, for 4 years. And, it happened quite a bit back this.
What year? Or was it,
I think it was
ages ago, was it?
Yeah, quite a bit back. She was deaf for about 4 years. Having an argument with her mum, it said, which I didn't quite understand. Because I don't know how they do that.
Yeah.
But she was having an argument, and a man pushed her against a wall, and she banged her head, and her hearing came back.
Okay.
Was she wearing a Walkman? And it fell out? And she'd realised, oh,
There's no explanation.
There's no explanation? Well, why is that teaching me something then?
Right, so I knew you'd say this, right? So I thought, right, I'll stick something on it. Do you know that bees are deaf?
No! No, you can't just, no! If you ask someone something they don't know the answer to, they don't tell you something else. Just, I'll tell you something else then. I can't answer that, I'll tell you something else. Imagine that. If you asked a teacher. Look, how do birds fly? Wow, if you're gonna do that. Tallest building is, I mean, what?
Well...
That was the equivalent, Carl, of running away when we asked you a question.
Yeah, the intellectual equivalent of going, look over there, there's a monster.
Yeah.
Listen, what do you mean? What she, okay, so,
So her
there's
hearing
no
came back.
explanation. There's no explanation. Or you don't know.
Well, there isn't one, is there, really? It's a bit
What,
weird.
did
the only
did
thing
the doctors not look into it?
No, I think they just said, oh, that's good.
But, so again, I don't. Where did this information? Is that if you read this on the net? Is that all they put on
There
the
was
net?
once a deaf woman who hit her head and she
And her
could hear.
hearing came back.
It was bizarre things about being deaf.
Was there
Oh,
three
yeah.
was there
I've got that book, yeah, it's a good book, that.
Was there three
Yeah.
more pages you just couldn't be bothered to read on?
Yeah.
No, it was just a little bit, and it
Was there a
said-
little picture, a cartoon picture?
No pictures, I just
Are we
read
going,
it.
ow!
Look,
Ow,
if you
I
don't
can
want to
hear.
know, if you don't want to learn, you know.
Yeah. Okay, it's not his fault. Let me have It's Not His Fault. You gotta save this. This has gotta teach me something. It'll be an interesting story.
Right, It's Not His Vault. This fella,
What year? Ages ago?
Olden times?
I'd say in the 70s,
Okay.
Would you? Any evidence for that?
and,
Does he wear flares in the story?
Right,
Is that your
story.
reason?
no, it's a bit like Yori Geller, this fella, right, where he's electric,
He's electric.
and, if he walks past the telly would fizz. If he walked past the radio, it all goes like that.
Ooh.
His hair stuck up all the time. And he'd be having a bath and everything would be alright, and then the power would sort of switch on in his body, and the electric in his body made him jump out of the bath. So...
What do you mean so? What is that so? What does that so mean? You've given us nothing. You've given us nothing.
You'd have to at least give us the scientific explanation.
Yeah.
Electric eels have 400 volts in them.
Oh, is this the running away again?
What was that one called?
Yeah, but
It's not his vault.
But there's a reason not his fault. It's not his fault. I thought it was going to be something about keeping it in a safe.
I think we should do these the other way round. I think you should tell us the story and then we'll hear the pun.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Right, let's leave it.
Play a tune. Educating Ricky.
Doing it. We're not doing it.
No, we are. Oh. What? Don't look at me like that.
Oh, Carl, you're in a bad mood.
Carl,
I'm all right.
dreaming of you. Right, do the last one. Do the last one. Carl's saying we're never doing this again because we don't appreciate it. Yeah, Carl, you don't know how good this feature is, mate.
Right, last one.
Yeah.
Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Go on then, tell me about that one. What's that? What am I going to learn from this?
Right, well, do you know the saying, pot a sock in it?
I like it already.
Do you know the saying?
Yeah.
Right, well, do you know where it comes from?
I assume it's shut up, so I'll stuff your mouth with a sock to shut you up.
Years ago.
Yeah. Sorry, am I right?
No, not really. Ages ago.
1970s?
50s,
Okay.
I'd say. Do you know the old,
I'd say.
do you know the old gramophone?
Yeah.
With the big horn on it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, well, those stereos didn't have a volume control on them. Right? So they'd be listening
Oh,
to
so you
their
put a
album,
sock in the...
and
mute.
you'd put something like a sock.
That's a real one, you see? That's taught me something. That's good. That's excellent, Carl. That is the only one that counts, like chewing the fat, if they're true. I'm assuming they are. It works. It's of interest. I haven't got it verified yet, but that is educating Ricky. That's brilliant. I will say, the other two were more entertaining. So, you know, I don't...
Do you understand the distinction, though, between that one and Electrical Man?
And, or I've hit me head, I can hear you, Mum.
Yeah. Can you see the difference, though? Or...
Are
all
not
three
really, because when I read all three, I took something away from all of them.
What did you take away from the Electrical Man?
I just thought, oh, imagine that. Imagine how annoying that would be.
But that's not education, is
And
it
it's
really?
not taking anything
No, but
away.
Think about it, right? We take our lives for granted all the time, don't you? You get up in the morning, it's like, oh, I'll get up and walk for a shower. Some people can't walk, right?
Yeah.
This guy, he can't even have a, you know what I mean? It's nice to have a bath, isn't it, when you got time on your hands and you can relax. This guy can't even do that. It might be alright for a bit, but he's not really enjoying it, because at any moment, it could strike.
Yeah.
So, he can't even do that. He can't comb his hair, because it keeps going a mess.
Yeah.
He can't watch his
Nor can you.
No, he can't.
Does he fight crime? What does he do with his powers?
Yeah.
I think he just has to sit around, because he can't work with machinery.
Right.
Because he'll probably blow a fuse.
Yeah, so he just sits around.
Think about it, what can he do? What normal things can he do?
Skateboarding.
Going for long walks.
Yeah.
Put a wetsuit on.
Well, he couldn't do that.
Why?
Ooh, water and electric.
No, wetsuits aren't actually wet. They're dry initially.
Just put a whole wetsuit on and walk round with flippers and
A
rub the
wetsuit's
sole.
not like a dinner jacket that's like really wet.
Well, all I'm saying is think. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And what was the other one
the
again?
girl deaf, 4 years hit her head.
Yeah. That's just,
What have you learned from that?
What is that?
Well, imagine how happy you'd be. Remember that time when I nearly died? When I choked on a Mr. Freeze Pop? Right?
No, tell us that one again.
No, I told you, didn't I?
Tell us again.
Yeah, but the people will remember it, and then it's...
They weren't listening. Go on. What happened?
It was ages ago when my mum and dad used to go out shopping on a Friday.
1970s?
Get the food in. get a week's load of food in the cupboard and that, and we'd, you know, they'd come in with all the food, and we'd all be like, oh god, you know, there's no food left on a Thursday really, so we'd all be hungry on the Friday by the time the food got in.
I love that!
And
That
I'd
they
be
would
like-
need it. I imagine him like jackal puppies.
Yeah.
Just like licking your parents' mouth for food as they
So-
come through the door.
So they come in from the supermarket, they're emptying the box. Our kid had got some biscuits and what have you.
Frenzy, just a feeding frenzy, like pigeons.
I grabbed the Mr. Freeze Pop and knocked it back really quick, but it wasn't frozen, so I knocked it back so it was like a liquid, and it went down the wrong way, right, and I was choking, right, and I nearly died. It must have been about, how long can you go before you die?
A couple of minutes to do
Right,
it.
I reckon about a minute 50. Right, I was really close to dying.
How do you know you were close to dying?
Me,
Did your life flash before you?
No, but I just was like,
There's loads of instances of him eating pops.
Yeah, exactly.
I just said
40 of those.
whatever, right?
What do you think you'd see if your life flashed past you? What do you think, which elements would stand out for you, do you think?
What? Start now, go back. What do you remember? What's the first thing you remember?
As a kid.
Yeah, just anything now.
Being in the hall and having our dog licking my face.
That's your earliest memory?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next one?
Right, next one's probably being at primary school with Lindsay.
Yeah.
Was that your girlfriend?
Well, a little friend who was a girl.
Sure.
And we used to have like tins with letters in, and you'd have to write stuff. But anyway, what are we doing?
I got confused!
Right, so anyway,
I'm intrigued by the dog that was licking your face.
well, bin that.
We won't win that.
No, it's a great feature. I just think you need to be a little bit more careful about what you consider to be education.
Gone
Alright,
funny. I fell over.
Alright, well,
We'll work on it next week. Play a tune, and what have you got for us? Because we've got a big competition.
We've
Come
got
on.
to do the competition. We've only got 25
Yeah, well, come on
Don't
then,
worry
quick
about
then.
it, Carl.
Do
Play a
something,
tune.
play
We'll
a
come back
tune.
with Rockbusters.
What are we playing?
Let's play a bit of Tupac.
Oh, that's what I'm coming out to, isn't it? The fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine it.
Whack it up, whack it up.
Tupac, California Love.
Yeah.
And that's the big tune that Ricky will be coming out to when he has his celebrity boxing match. We're all looking forward to that, Rick.
Yeah.
Competition time, Carl?
Oh, Carl's looking forward to this. He's just getting all stressed about his half hour. Like Pete. Oh, go on. Go on,
it's
sorry.
just, we should have done this a lot earlier.
Why?
It keeps them hooked in. Right, if you haven't heard the game before, I'll give you some initials, bit of a cryptic clue, and those initials and the cryptic clue makes up some band. Might not be an XFM band, but it's a band or a pop group or an artist or something.
Yeah.
It's on
What's the
email.
feature called, though? What's the feature
It's called
called?
Rockbusters.
Rockbusters, yeah?
Absolutely.
Do you want to, will we do this on email?
I think we ought to, because you don't like taking calls from the public, do you?
Well, he can't work the machine.
No, that's absolutely right.
It's not that, it's just that, then it's pretty fair for everyone, because
Anyone who's got a computer, you mean? So it's open to anyone who's got, you know, a computer or a laptop at their disposal at this precise moment.
Anyway, there's some cracking prizes, Rick, you'll be pleased to know that, obviously, once again, Carl has, managed to collect together an arbitrary assortment of,
Just looking
giveaway stuff.
round the office.
I mean, where did you get these from? I mean, seriously, where did you get them from? Because it's
Right,
such an arbitrary
what have
collection.
we got there?
I don't know what kind of a person would want these items.
Right.
It's such an arbitrary selection, I don't know what kind of person you'd be.
Read them out, what have we got?
Well, there's another XFM compilation, which you've obviously nicked from somewhere in the office.
Yeah, it's
Fair
a
enough.
good compilation, remix to
There's
album.
an album here, which is a promo album with two pigs on the front. I think it's the Smashing Pumpkins
Frank
live.
Saunders.
I can't be certain.
Yeah.
This is the album. Didn't we give this one away last week? This is just an arbitrary compilation album. Again, one of those kind of.
Is that the actual one you didn't send, Carl?
No.
To say?
We've got a couple of
I've got a
them.
job lot of them.
Surprise, surprise, The Office
Oh.
on DVD, which is ludicrous.
Oh, I've seen it from here. What film? If it, listen, dear XFM listener, it's 2:30. You know, it's a bit windy out. You're
Probably gonna stay in this evening.
Maybe do a bit of shopping you got, and then in a stay this evening. Oh, what film would you really want? No, I mean seriously. Think if you could see one film, right? What would you want to see?
DVD.
One of the
DVD.
big
One of the-
releases.
Yeah, it's great. We'll put them out of their misery, Steve. They'll be watching this tonight if they're a lucky winner.
It's the movie Stigmata. Stigmata with Patricia Arquette and Gabriel Byrne.
Oh,
So look forward to that.
great.
That's the big one.
That is brilliant.
You're playing
oh, look
for-
at Carl's face. He's actually offended because he's the only one that puts any work into this show, and he's got competitions. He's got Educating Ricky, Rockbuster. He's got
the song with the story.
He's got a song with a story to come that he's like gone through them. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So you're playing for that collection of arbitrary goodies plus the big prize this week, Stigmata, featuring Gabriel Byrne.
Oh dear.
About a
Go on
woman
then.
who I think starts bleeding from the hands. It's a horror film, I think. You'll have to be 18 or over
I've
to
seen
take
it.
part.
It's not terrible.
Sure.
It's all right. But
Is it better than Children of the Corn, which was a big giveaway last week?
I haven't seen Children of the Corn. Go on then.
Right, so
Next week, Teen Wolf 2.
Go on.
Here's
the and Tony Banks's own solo album, Bank Statement. Tony Banks, remember, is the musician from the much loved Genesis, but we've got that album to give away.
Alright then, so, Right.
To win those exclusive prizes.
Yeah,
Go on.
yeah, you've got to email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
I saw a sellotape dispenser out in the, office
There's
as
a
well, if
pair
you
of
want.
gloves that I don't know who's out, but they're out there and they've been there for a week, so
Let's send
a
them
pair
as
of
well.
gloves, a sellotape dispenser, and Tony Banks's solo album, Bank Statement.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Right, first one. Initials JT.
Initials JT. What's the cryptic clue?
Cryptic clue. At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Hold on.
Yeah?
JT, and what's the clue again?
At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Full of logs?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, who could it be? JT. At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Yeah, go on,
Right,
next one.
second one, there's 3 of them you gotta get. Letter is W.
Yeah.
The clue, that lad's got bad asthma.
That lad has got bad
I've got that
asthma.
one already. I've got that
Yeah,
one already.
W.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
okay.
finally, the last one is the letter C.
Yeah.
And, the cryptic clue,
Is Carl is one of these.
Mousetrap is that musical, isn't it? This isn't the clue, by the way. It is called Mousetrap, isn't it?
There's not a musical.
It's not a musical, but it's a
Alright,
whodunit sort of thing,
yeah, that's fine. Right, here's a clue. I saw that,
Imagine that. Imagine that on the real Blockbusters.
Yeah, mate. Bob Owen is going, oh, can we stop a minute? Oi, you with the 9 teddy bears there. Mousetrap, that's a show, isn't it? In London, isn't it? I think so, Bob, yeah. Right, okay, here we go.
Yeah, carry on.
So
Put the cameras back on.
Yeah, yeah.
So, the letter is C, and the cryptic clue, I saw that Mousetrap the other night, but the heating in the theatre was
What?
knackered.
What?
The heating in the theatre was knackered, right? Ruined it.
Well, I've got that one already as well.
Yeah?
I mean, these are, the first one's hard, but those two
So
are
just a quick
ridiculous.
reminder, JT was the first one.
At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Full of logs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second one, W, that lad's got bad asthma.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the last one, C, I saw that Mousetrap the other night, but the heating in the theatre was knackered, and it ruined the whole thing.
Okay. And, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk is the email address. You can win,
I'm confused with
various
full of logs,
treats,
actually.
including
I'm in a
Stigmata.
I'm in
with
a
Gabriel
river full
Byrne.
of logs.
Yeah.
I'm in a river full of logs.
Well, we'll do it in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, you've
20
got to
minutes
stay
think
tuned
about
for the
it.
answers.
It's not the quickest, so don't go rushing and sort of messing it up. Think about it, and it's random email anyway, so there's no rush, alright?
And if you want to email, you're welcome to say, please do not send me the prizes even if I win. Welcome to put that on there if you don't want that junk in your house.
Right. The reason we usually sort of play a record out of an outbreak, don't we?
Yeah.
Carl is so concerned with his little competition, he hasn't got a record ready.
Sure.
Got one.
Okay.
Sorry, Larry.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a quick recap, quick recap?
Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
bother
yeah.
to even just say it. I'm not interested. I'm just not interested.
Yeah, go on,
Recap,
quick.
Still send your emails in. JT, it's some initials of a band, just in case you didn't hear it last week. If I said AK and an exploding pet, that would be Atomic Kitten.
Yeah.
Right?
They know what a clue is.
So JT, at the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Yeah.
W, that lad's got bad asthma. And C, I saw that Mousetrap the other night. The heating wasn't working, it ruined the night. And, yeah, that's it. ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Some stuff.
Stigmata. With Gabriel Byrne.
Richard Ashcroft. Check the meaning. Oh, I love that. That's brilliant. On XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, who's our producer. A proper producer now.
producer.
No, but he's getting it. But it's more like it now, isn't it? Before he was someone who pressed the buttons. Then he was someone who pressed the buttons who we just made talk like a performing monkey.
I hear he's going to be lured away by the Today programme on Radio 4. Because they've lost their news editor, I think.
Educating Ricky, quite topical.
Absolutely.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Well,
it?
so when you say topical,
What do you mean
this is topical. Well, this happened ages ago.
Yeah.
Your words, not mine.
Have they got a Ricky who works there?
We can look into that.
So this is the
Carl
big
set a
prizes they've got to be given
competition.
away, Rick. They've got to be given away.
This is Rockbuster.
We've got, obviously the big prize Stigmata this week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give the prize to Ira, I think it's Ira or Ira, but she or he, emailed in, the right answers and then said if you could enclose the receipt for Stigmata, that would be much appreciated. But I'm amazed by the number of responses we've had.
And someone wants a copy of Tony Banks's solo album, which I was mucking around, so we'd better buy that in the week to give it away, because I think that would be an amazing prize to give away.
If you just give the clues
do
again.
the clues and then just give the
I'll
answer.
tell you,
Come on.
what the answers are.
Right, well, the one that everyone was struggling with was the first one. So
Yeah.
I'll save that. So we'll go to the second one. W,
Yeah,
that lad's got bad asthma.
yeah, we know that.
That was Weezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one, well done.
The last one, C, the clue was, I saw that mousetrap the other day. The heating was knackered in the restaurant.
Yeah.
In the restaurant?
In the theatre.
Yeah.
And it ruined the night.
Yeah, so it was a cold play, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a cold play.
Yeah.
And JT, at the moment,
I can't think of this one.
At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Well, I had to say there were some wrong answers. What was it again?
It was Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake. We had some wrong answers that included Jethro Tull and James Taylor. I don't know how that relates to it at all.
I'm annoyed at Lake when he clearly said river. I mean, that's the first thing that cropped up. Not I'm in some water full of logs. At the moment, yeah, I'm in some water full of logs. But he actually had to say river, so not lake. That annoys me. I mean, I didn't get it, fair enough. I should have worked it out. I should have tried to think like you.
Get it.
A lot of people obviously think like you, which is, which I'm, you know, worried about. But yeah, James Taylor is great. James Taylor.
Just someone guessing.
Yeah, James Taylor works.
Have we got a winner, Steve? He's just gonna randomly pick one.
I did have a winner. I've just lost them.
Oh.
Needless to say, that lucky person
won't be watching Stigmata tonight. Just randomly get it's a draw, by the way. It's not the first one.
Okay,
I said to Carl in the break, I said, "Is the first one in?" He went, "No, I don't want a competition that relies on speed because I don't want to be rushed."
Okay.
So randomly click on someone.
I'm just going to randomly click on one.
Go on.
They've not put an address.
Well, what we can do, we can email back and say, send us your address.
Well,
of course you can.
I think if they haven't put an address.
Well, no, let's read it out.
All right.
Yeah.
Chris Beaumont.
He's
lucky Chris Beaumont as
Chris Beaumont will be watching Stigmata tonight with a club of Haagen-Dazs, if I'm not much mistaken. So he'll be loving it.
Well done to Chris.
Need his address.
Right.
Then.
That's the end of that competition.
Right.
Can we play a record or something?
Well, we're on to another feature.
Oh, what is this?
This one is...
Rick, were you not at the planning meeting?
What is this? Go on.
This is, that song's got a good story in it.
Oh, is this that? Oh, God.
So tell us the rules.
Yeah. Right, the rule is that it's songs that we play on the show every week, and there's a lot of music out that they just keep saying the same thing over and over.
What is it? What's the song with the story this week?
A good story.
What's the song with the story this week? Just say it.
It's Gene Pitney, 24 Hours from Tulsa.
Oh, I'm really sorry about this. If you're an XFM listener, we gotta listen to this. Go on.
Well, do you know what it's about?
Yeah, isn't he trying to get back to his girlfriend?
Yeah, he's been working away. Lives in Tulsa. He works quite far away.
Right.
And he's
Would this save us having to listen to the song?
Well, he's always good to sort of
hear the story before you hear the story.
It's like you know.
Sure. I like this before a film. Yeah.
No,
go on.
you might read the book before you see the film, type thing.
Yeah.
So
never in my case.
He's working miles away. His missus is in Tulsa. He's driving back. Yeah. And he can't wait.
He's only about 24 hours away, as I remember.
He's about 24 hours away, and he's a little bit tired on the way home. He's thinking, oh, I don't want to look a mess for when me missus sees me. So he says, right, I'll stay at a motel, get some energy and that, you know, for when they see you, have a shave.
Bar.
So he pulls over at a motel, and he's locking his car up, getting his suitcase out the back. There's a woman in the car park. He's like, oh, she's alright. She looks at him, he thinks...
XFM 104.9.
I don't think the suitcase in the boot is mentioned in the song. I think that's maybe a 12-inch mix or something. I've not heard that.
Well, basically, right...
I don't remember...
I'll play the record, for Christ's sake! Let them listen to it!
I don't remember him saying, cool, she looks alright in the record.
Yeah, well done. Yeah. 24 Hours from Tulsa, Gene Pitney, song with a story.
You are quite upset by the lyrics of that song, aren't you?
I just think it's a bit annoying that, right, he loved this woman.
Yeah.
Everything's going fine. He's only 24 hours away from home. I don't know what sort of distance he's done. but he can't wait to get home. And all it took was some woman in the car park to sort of...
give him the eye.
Give her the eye. And all the, like, the good times he's had with his missus go out the window. And, I don't know.
That's the dangers of falling in love with a prostitute. What I like about it though is the fact that he's writing this to his ex-girlfriend. It's like talking about rubbing it in. I was kissing her and getting off with her. We were having a wild time.
Didn't take as long as Carl did explain it though. Yeah.
But did you hear the very end? Because he's the loser. Because he said, and he can never go home again.
Yeah.
So even though he's got this new girlfriend and that. He can't see his old mates
anymore. He has falling in love with
her. Can't see his old mates anymore, he said. He can't see his old mates anymore.
Yeah. It's a sobering lesson.
I'll tell you
next time you stop at the Granada services on the way back from, you know, Swansea, be careful.
There was a song a bit like that by Jim Reeves, probably about the same time, a little bit before, right? It was just called, just 100 miles from Mary Ann, right? And, it was him and his horse going through the snow, and he was turning.
He stopped at a Little Chef.
Yeah, he fancied another donkey. No, but, it's really sad. It used to make me cry when I was little, because he got there, right, and he wouldn't leave old Ben, the horse. And he dies in the snow, and then so he dies in the snow.
He's gone again. Now, I get the same way, teary-eyed, with, 2 little boys.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that.
Why not?
It's just...
You think I'd leave you dying when there's room on this horse for 2? Climb up here, Jack, we'll soon be flying back to the ranks so blue. It was just like when they were playing with the little horse's head, when they were little, and he was a soldier and he helped him, and he returned the favour in a war, which to me is a bigger favour than just letting him have a go on a hobby horse, but, a lot braver, if you know. Yeah, last number 1 of the 60s as well. Christmas 1969.
And it's, of course, based on truth, that's a history lesson right there. It is based on fact. It's a famous person. I think it was Winston Churchill and Cromwell.
Yeah, it's Winston Churchill and Cromwell.
Cromwell and Winston Churchill.
Yeah, they were both lived ages ago, so they lived at the same time. Literally ages ago, so they lived at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, that's it then.
Is it?
Yeah.
Were you listening to anything we were saying then, Carl? Did you understand any of that me and Steve were just chatting about then?
that Rolf Harris, did a good song about someone who's got to carry on a horse.
Right, and what was about the stuff about Cromwell and Winston Churchill? What do you think that was about?
I missed that.
We're doing humour, we're doing a little bit of humour. It was a satire on you saying ages not being specific. Do you like that stuff we do?
Yeah. That's it then.
Like just a cat looking out a window at a dead mouse or something. You can go, come here! And it's just looking at the mouse it could eat. You wanna press the buttons and finish, don't you?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, play a record or?
No, that's it, it's ads and that's it.
Okay. Great. Goodbye.
What a wonderful ending. That was the way really went out with a bang.
Foo Fighters. All my life on XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant, and of course Karl Pilkington. Ooh, have we got a show for you today?
What have we got planned?
Come on. Loads of stuff, and 2 hours of it.
Right.
And all the records.
Specifically, what sort of stuff have you planned for us? Because I know you've been working hard.
What have you done?
Well, you know, I've been busy this week, I've been house hunting, I've various things, but I know you've had the whole week off.
Right.
So what have you been up to, right?
Go on, Karl. Karl, tell them what we've got, tell them what we've planned, all the stuff you've done.
What have you got?
But Rick, specifically, what have you come up with? Quick, because people are getting bored. Tell us what you've...
I've come up with, the music.
Right. Obviously we've already planned that. We planned that last week, so that's all done. But what have you yourself contributed to today's show?
I got a text message today from Ross Noble. You know Ross Noble, the comedian? Who's on, Have I Got News For You?
Right.
He says, ask Karl, if he woke up with ladies' boobs, would he just put a dress on and live as a lady? Or would he just be a man, but with these boobs?
Carl, it's a good question. I know that happened to Ross, so he's throwing that one out at you.
It did in a way, because he ate pizzas for a year, didn't he?
Yes, he did, yeah.
And he got a lovely pair of breasts. Yeah. Go on.
Probably just find a loose-fitting jumper, go to the doctors.
What would you say to the doctor? How would you explain this phenomenon to the doctor? So you'd be happy with this, because you believe in, shite, like, happening. Go on.
But it can happen, because I told you a couple of weeks ago how it can happen. How you can wake up with breasts if you're a fella. I told you.
Go on.
Haven't you remembered?
No. Funny that, innit? Go on.
Have you, Steve?
No, I don't remember this. Did you tell us on air?
Yeah. It can happen if you go to Argentina and have a steak. You can wake up with breasts. Because
I'm sure I'd have remembered that.
Pull the other one. Look, he likes that.
Is that what you've come up with this week? That joke?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Play a record. It's going to be a dynamite show.
Songs you want.
Listen, look, I'm going to play some classic tunes today. I'm going to educate the youngsters, Steve. Right, now, you've all heard of Lou Reed, you've all heard of Velvet Underground, but, have you heard of Venus in Furs, Karl?
Shiny, shiny, shiny boots of leather.
Venus in Furs. Velvet Underground. What a great start. What a classic song.
They continue to sound fresh and contemporary.
Do you know what that song's about, Karl?
No.
M&S. M&S.
It's about M&S.
You know that?
Yeah.
You know the shop?
Yeah.
It's all about that.
Yeah.
Whiplash, Smile, and all that, all the things you can get at Marks and Spencer's.
Shiny boots of leather.
Yeah. Being whipped.
Yeah. I think that's a new division they've opened.
Yeah, but we have got a great show lined up,
have we? No,
we have, because we've got, Rockbusters coming up, the great new
looking
quiz.
Forward to that.
That's made the press.
Has it?
Frimley Tea Rooms newsletter mentioned it. We've also got,
That's Carl's local, isn't it?
Yeah, we've also got, Educating Ricky, where Carl educates me. The one last week, a girl, right? She was deaf, and she was had an argument with her mum, and she pushed her and she hit her head, and then she can hear again.
Yeah.
Don't know what I learnt from that.
No.
It might be subliminal, something might be going, it might be a metaphor that I will learn from.
Yeah, it's like a parable.
Yeah. So, look at his face. We might as well be talking Dutch, mightn't we, Carl? Say something quick, it's radio.
I don't understand what you want from me.
Oh, we're only joking.
Right, so, Educating Ricky, I've worked a bit harder this week, we've got some good stuff.
Okay.
I'll give you the
teaser headlines later.
Headlines in a bit.
Yeah.
So you've got Rockbusters as well.
Carl's having a bit of a stressful week because he thinks he's not appreciated because he gets in at what time do you get in? About 8 or 9, don't you?
Last week, yeah, I've been busy this week. I've been in at about 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and you've been leaving when?
About 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, you're in Saturday.
Yeah, I'm in now.
You get paid, don't you?
I'm busy at home at
A lot of people work late, Carl. A lot of people work 12-hour days.
Why are you busy at home, Carl? What are you up to?
Because we're trying to sort out a move.
Uh-huh.
I've been trying to call round this morning to get someone to buy a futon on a table from me.
Yes. Well, we could put that appeal out now, couldn't we? If anyone wants to buy a futon or a table.
Just think, a futon that Carl Pilkington slept on.
How much you asking?
Whatever.
Well, you need
for
to
the two. You've got to take the two. I don't want, like, different people coming round and that.
Sure, wasting your time.
You've got to buy a futon on a table.
It's quite specific, isn't it? Someone has to want a futon. Yeah. The specific futon you're selling on the table.
It's like a teas mate, isn't it? Alarm clock and tea maker. This is futon and table.
Looking for about 100 quid.
And it's good condition, the futon.
Yeah.
Right, no
not
stains,
on it.
you haven't pissed yourself in the, no.
No,
right.
Nothing? And what kind of table, what sort of table is it? Are we talking like a table for a lounge, a dining table?
No, for like a computer, and just, you know, something...
Has it got any drawers? Are there any drawers? There's no drawers?
No, it's just a nice wooden table.
Right, is it kind of oak, or is it sort of an IKEA sort of thing?
No, it's like oakish.
It's oakish?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 100 quid.
The futon is just a mattress and the pallets. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. You see, you get cheap futons, don't you? But this is a good one. It's
how much would that have retailed for when you purchased it?
I think I paid about $2.50 for it.
Right, so it's a bargain.
Well,
for people.
if you look at it, and
how long have you had it? How old is it?
This is a whole new strand.
Well, I'm thinking
I don't think it's legal. I don't think we should use.
I'll tell you what I'm interested in, Rick. It's just finding out a little bit about the sort of thing that Carl's got in his home. You know.
I'm interested in if people will phone up to spend £100 just to go round
Carl's house.
No, I won't be. No.
What?
No, they'll come here, I'll bring it to work and they can pick it up here.
I'm gonna bring a futon and a table to work. Don't you ride a bike
So hold on, we need someone with a van now.
Yeah.
So we need, is anyone who wants to, but they're not around your house, can they meet you next door? Someone with a van
Could they meet you in your street somewhere?
Hold on, could they meet what you what about the little Chinese fellow that lives across the road, on the two bouncers and the old woman who's dead reading a book? Could you meet him somewhere?
I've got an idea. What about if you meet at the end of your street, you blindfold them, like they do when terrorists take the negotiator to the hideout.
The big cheese.
And so you could do that, and so, you know, they could piece together maybe where you live from the sounds and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But, what about that, Carl? That seems a great idea.
Yeah.
And would you sign the futon for people, do you think? Would you give them a little signature? Or maybe at least a bill of purchase?
You could sign the pallet.
Yeah. Or, I could try and get work to buy it off me, and then we give it away for Rockbusters.
Do you think they do that? Do you think they do that? I think they'd probably do it for Foxy with his big
Well, imagine how big that would be.
Imagine if he wanted to sell his hog.
Yeah. That is a motorbike, isn't it?
Yeah. He's been selling his hog for money for years, hasn't he? Oh dear.
So, well, we'll see about that.
So, if people are interested, maybe email, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you're interested in futon.
Buy Carl's futon competition, £100 ONO.
Exactly.
Yeah? Yeah?
What gear have we got anyway?
I never knew what that meant, ONO. I thought it went sort of on the nose.
On the
nose.
Oh, that's good, yeah. Tell me what we've got to give away, Steve.
So actually, I have to say, you've excelled yourself this week.
Richard Ashcroft's single coming up soon after this. Go on.
Since when have you taken to talking like that? It does amuse me.
Go on.
This is a nice little collection here. This is a 3 DVD set. David Attenborough's, The Life of Birds, Trials of Life, and Life in the Freezer.
That's a good one, isn't it?
That's a selection of, animal-based documentaries.
Yeah.
We've got,
what is best at?
Well, absolutely.
I hate when he goes off the ball and does, like, fast cars.
This is very, very good indeed. This is a best of David Bowie compilation.
It is a very good,
Just,
it's a
in
proper
time
one,
for
not the rubbish ones that no one else wanted. This is a brilliant
Yeah,
compilation
it's got
of
excellent
Bowie.
selection on there. We've got this. Now this looks like a Madness. Oh no, it's far worse than we could possibly have imagined. It seems to be some kind of tie-in with the Our House Madness musical.
And it's got a cast of 20 people who wanted to be singers.
It's tricky to find out. I can't figure out if it's the originals or not, but needless to say, if you're a Madness fan, I'm sure that'd be an absolute
you love
treat.
that, you love that.
Now I know that,
Steve, I wouldn't mind that DVD collection myself, but I can't.
That's
It's
true
the giveaways that, no, we can't.
I'm talking of great compilations. What about this? It's Country Legends. I'm seeing on the front there Glenn Campbell, we've got Dolly Parton, we've got, whatchamacallit? On the front.
Whatchamacallit?
He's a great performer.
Yeah.
Jake, whatchamacallit.
Oh, excellent.
Some great hits from him. So, that's there as well.
What a collection.
That's, same XFM compilation, again, easy to get hold of if
But the big one, the film that Carl picks every week, the big
DVD movie this week.
Don't go out tonight if you've got a DVD player and a television set, because you'll be staying in and watching this fantastic film.
It will tear your soul apart. It's Hellraiser. The original Hellraiser. Bear in mind, it has been on Channel 4 and Channel 5 and on most cable channels since it came out. But if you haven't seen it, if you're one of the only people who has not seen it, and of course you have to be over 18 to play, then you can win Hellraiser.
That is fantastic. Well, play a song, Carl. We'll come back to that. More great stuff.
Indeed. The competition coming up later. Email only, isn't it, Carl?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Futon.
Futon's still available.
Richard Ashcroft. Check the meaning. Well, Carl, you're chuffed, aren't you? What's happened? What's just happened? Tell the listeners what's happened.
This has sparked you up a bit.
Steve's just called up. He's putting an offer for the futon and the table.
Yeah.
I think he definitely wanted it, but I said, look, think about it over the weekend.
Yeah.
Give us
You're
a
not
call.
a hustler.
No, well, I'm not going to rush him into it, because once he's got it, he can't bring it back. I'm not messing about.
No.
So the bloke said, what sort of wood is it? Carl said, sort of like a light brown colour. He went, what, beach coloured? Carl went, depends what beach you're on. Which was nice.
You do understand there's a wood that's called beach.
Well, he's happy. He likes the sound of it. Nice plum cover. He's gonna be,
Yeah. It's Carl going, that'll go with Magnolia. You walls he's just going, I'll tell you what, looked nice in your spare bedroom. It was like an episode of Change Rooms. It was like listening to an episode of Carl.
He did the deal in under 3 minutes, wasn't it?
It was pretty good, didn't he?
He phoned it about halfway through in that song, so
Yeah.
you worked pretty quick, Carl, I gotta say.
Yeah.
It's your Manx scally way.
I'm sure we're not allowed to do this, though.
No, I think it's highly criminal.
Yeah.
Have you got anything that you can
Well, I'll tell you, I am moving shortly, so I mean, I might come in next week. I could have a couple of
I
things,
threw away a desk the other day.
I gotta get rid of a bed, a chair, because I'm pretty tall. This is so pathetic. When I moved up to London, my dad said, well, you want to be careful, because, I mean, the seating in a lot of these London pads, it's bad seating, very low backs, fashionable, isn't it? Fashionable chairs and stuff. You're a big guy, 6'7", you need, like, a decent chair. We went to a shop, it was like a second-hand furniture shop, right? I bought this chair, very high back.
Why did you buy that for a solo? I love that.
It's just a chair, so I could sit in my room and watch TV.
But was it a soft chair, or was it a wooden chair?
It was kind of like a sort of, well, let me explain, because it's kind of like an armchair, but it's kind of got wooden arms. So I get this chair, I bring it up to London, I'm thinking, this is a great chair, this is a wonderful chair. I'm gonna be watching TV, everyone else is going to be in agony. But I've got this lovely chair, right? And I brought it up, and someone went, they looked at it, they went, isn't that an orthopaedic chair? And I looked at it again, right, and I realised, it's kind of white cleanable. It's made of some kind of fabric that allows you to just mop it down with a wet cloth.
Why?
Because I think it came from an old people's home.
Oh.
You know when you see, like, old people in some kind of social room in an old people's home, just sat watching a little crappy old TV, and you can wipe everything clean. It's one of those chairs.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So if anyone's, maybe they've got an elderly relative.
Didn't you keep slipping off?
Just goes like, and it's also the most uncomfortable chair I've, because unless you've got chronic back pain, it's just the most uncomfortable chair. It makes you sit bolt upright, if not slightly forward.
You've done a good sell on it. I think, the phones are going mental.
Well,
how much do you want for that, Steve?
If you've had a recent accident, or you've got a disabled or someone in the house who's just, elderly, then you might want to get in touch. I'm happy to, you can take that off, man, for 25 quid.
This is so wrong.
25 quid, I'll take that. Maybe you're setting up an old people's home, it's a little pet project.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of grant, and we can help.
Exactly.
We can, I mean, because Steve's such a high flyer, I mean, if it really is a good cause, they just give it to you.
Well, let's not rush into anything, really. I like to assess each case, you know, individually.
Yeah.
But certainly if you are a charity, then I might go for 20 quid. You take it off my hands for 20 quid. But otherwise 25. And I tell you, it's in good condition, because I haven't really sat on it.
5 quid off if you really are.
You know, and there were some stains, I've wiped them clean.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, that's fantastic. So we've
I'll tell you what we should resuscitate next week, Swap Shop. The multicoloured swap shop.
Honestly,
it's a great format.
But there's a couple of things I've always wanted to get back at. Swap Shop is one of them, and the other one is Superstars.
I don't remember Superstars.
Superstars was great, because it was like the people of their time. So you'd have like people like nowadays, you'd have Beckham and what's his name? Who's a tennis player?
Rosetsky.
Yeah, Rosetsky, and they have to compete, so all these people have to compete at each other's sports, and they have to choose 7 out of 10 sports. And there's a leaderboard, and there's a big final. Oh, Keegan came off his bike.
It's
Brian
not
Jacks
like
always used to win it. No, it's real sports. It's proper sports. It's 100 metres, tennis, weightlifting, all the real sports. You can't do your own sport.
Well, I know you're a pretty big guy now in British TV. You're a bit of a big shot. What do you reckon? Pull some strings?
Let's get it back on there. Superstars.
Superstars, sounds fantastic.
Me, Johnny Vegas, Peter Kay. For the bigger fella, I think, maybe. The comedy superstars. What we got next? We've got a bit of Springsteen, haven't we?
Let's play Springsteen. This is a track from his current album, The Rising. A lot of people think Bruce is a bit MOR, a bit middle of the road or whatever, but, you know, I just think, piss off.
Yeah.
I just think, screw you, let's play it.
Yeah, get lost,
you. Yeah.
Imagine this, you're open top caddy.
Yeah,
you're just going
around
country. Route 66. You're going home maybe for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
To see your folks. Just turn up the radio if you are.
Play the tune.
Probably not, though.
That just reminded me when I brought so stop it for a second. Just realised when I brought a woman back and she saw the orthopaedic chair. You bring a woman back to your pad. Oh, it's embarrassing.
And the harness.
Yeah. And the truss.
Yeah, and can you give me those 2 splints? I'm sorry? Those 2 splints there. Well, I've got to go. Have you?
Is this a potty under the bed? The Rising, title track from Bruce Springsteen's current album, The Rising. Yeah, it's good.
Great. It's that feeling of it's melancholy and uplifting. We've had quite an interactive show so far, because we've got a call that Superstars is coming back. It's due to come back in the BBC schedules, which is great news. Apparently Steve Redgrave is one of them. I just don't think, will professional footballers be allowed to take part these days, though? When they're on 50 grand a week, you can't really have them falling off bikes and their ankles, can you?
Ian McCaskill last night.
Yeah, slippery thick glove, yeah.
Ian McCaskill.
Oh, he fell off his bike about 3 times, didn't he? Oh, did you see Slippery Thick Glove?
No, I haven't seen it.
There was a great moment where they had to go into a thing called a bod pod, and you sit in it, and it's quite space age, and it analyses you, and it tells you percentage body fat. Now, I think, men are meant to be about sort of, 15 to 25% body fat, women are meant to be like about 20 to 30 body fat. And they all went in there, and, it went in there and it said, Ian McCaskill, and it came up, 34% body fat or whatever. Slightly overweight. I'm gonna come to the 38% overweight. Then it went, the other one, 45% body fat, obese. Then it went, Jono.
Did it say, I don't want to tell you?
Yeah. And then it went, 50% body fat, very obese. Then Rick Waller was sat in there, and it came up 60% body fat. And I wanted it to come up slug. But it came up more, but it's 60, you are 60% fat.
So 60% of him is fat?
Yeah. 60% of his entire makeup.
That's extraordinary.
It is,
well, you know my feelings about Waller.
Well, then let's go on to him.
Well, that's the reason I don't watch the show, actually.
I do feel a bit sorry for him, and he is, I think he is trying, although the fella there, thinks he's not trying. So I don't know who to believe, Steve.
Sure. Yeah,
I don't know who to believe Waller, and he does get pains and that, and he is a bit...
The problem is, right, he does like his food.
Yeah, we all like our food.
But if he didn't do the exercise, he wouldn't be as hungry, and he might not get fat.
This is a whole new nutritional outlook.
Absolutely.
So you're saying, don't exercise and carry on eating, and that's interesting. Let me write that one down. I will send that to the British
Nutritional Organisation.
Yeah, no, that's good. Karl Pilkington. Okay, well, no, that's a good...
I'm no doctor or anything.
Whoa, come off it. Stop being so bloody modest.
Please.
You are a doctor. You're not a doctor, seriously. You didn't qualify. But that's interesting.
You dropped out early, or?
That's mad. That is mad.
I mean, you're as good as Doctor, you just didn't get the paperwork or whatever. You just didn't turn up for the exam.
He was just saying that Bruce Springsteen, depressed him a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it reminds him of when he worked in the supermarket. And, I said, it's funny how a song can do that, take you right back there. He went, yeah, nothing else can do that. I said, well, actually, smell is the most evocative sense, because smell is linked to memory in the brain. And he went, yeah, they probably said that before music, though. And now all science are going, we better revisit this, because there's music now.
Yeah.
We've had this theory knocking around for, 10,000.
I went to see Bruce, you'll be pleased to know. I just want, the fans of the show to know that I did make it to Bruce Springsteen's concert last week. And, he started with that song we just played, and it was dynamite. I mean, he never let up. Almost 3 hours, he rocked the joint. He's 53, he was sliding across, it was pure rock and roll. Pumping our fist, sliding across the floor on his knees, he was jumping on the piano. It was real Jerry Lee Lewis rock and roll. And, it was dynamite. And, I just was looking around though, and when I am the trendiest person at a gig.
Oh dear.
Then I'm in trouble. Do you know what I mean? And there was some of the people there. I imagined, you know, on Amazon.com, it says like, people who bought X also bought Y.
Yeah.
And I think people who bought tickets for Bruce probably bought tickets for Martin Knopfler.
Yeah,
Dave Gilmour.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, without Pink Floyd.
But
Stevie Nicks.
But there's also, but then there's also, you know, all the monsters rock. They probably buy Stones when they visit, you know. And probably Tina Turner.
It's the blue wash jeans.
Yeah.
You know, it's the small waistcoats. Over a denim shirt.
Plaid shirt, maybe sort of like Timberlands. Nothing wrong with Timberlands, that's libelous.
Sure.
No. Sure. See, I've done it again.
Yeah. But so it was hell getting out. I couldn't find, I mean, I went to the Tube, and it was a nightmare, because some of the tubes weren't running. I just said to my friend, I'll sod this, you know, stormed off, trying to find a cab, couldn't find a cab, wandering around Wembley, just livid. I mean, fuming, because I couldn't find a cab. I was screaming, because I was going, I've got money, I'm on the radio, I've had a TV show, I've got the cash, I'm willing to spend it, there's no one who can help me get home. And I was
I've seen him shout this in Brewer Street, just to stand in the middle. Go on.
And I was thinking to myself, what would you have done there? Because in the end, I just sat in a little cafe, had something to eat. But you, I mean, if you couldn't get a cab, what would you have done? Just because there's a couple of, there's a couple of hotels near Wembley. I was thinking you'd have just checked in.
Yeah, and just
stayed till the morning.
Yeah, when there's a cab, let me know.
But I was thinking, because you were thinking of going, would you have booked a cab beforehand?
Yeah.
Would you have thought to do that?
Yeah, I'd have got a cab there, and I'd have booked a cab.
Wouldn't the helicopter just took you back home?
Yeah.
Oh, he's having a dig, isn't he?
He's having a laugh, isn't he?
Well,
yeah. Yeah.
Play the ads.
Death in Vegas. Scorpio Rising.
Featuring the voice of, is it Noel Gallagher?
Liam, innit?
Is it Liam?
Sounded a bit like him.
Liam, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, isn't it?
Excellent, yeah. Right, okay, let's get this show well and truly on the road. We better start, educating Ricky next, Carl? What have you got for me? I can't wait for learning. I need learning. I need education.
We should just explain something. Obviously, for those that have just tuned in, Carl, tries to teach Ricky 3 things each week.
Based on the pun title,
and yeah, each of them, just to tantalise Ricky, is, abbreviated into some kind of headline.
A cryptic clue involving a pun.
So what have you got for us this week?
They are really cryptic this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
First story, little headline, is, don't worry about him, he can handle it.
He can handle it?
Yeah.
Sounds a bit like he can handle it, but it's not. Brilliant.
Second one.
Oh, get a lobe of this.
Get a lobe of this.
Some classics. Who can forget? Get a lobe of this.
Yeah. Coming soon.
And stocking 8 Waterman. Go on.
Second one. Yeah. I'm committed to this treatment.
I'm committed to this treatment.
Yeah.
Alright, tantalising.
Yeah. And the last one, the police are causing a bit of a stare.
The way he looks when he says it. I wish we could see. Can't we get Carl on telly?
There's got to be a way.
We cannot. With all the cable channels, anyone can get on telly these days. Let's phone up. Let's get you on Choice or something. Just a little. Just Carl.
What are you going for?
Oh, he can handle it. I think.
Don't worry about him. He can handle it.
He can handle it. Okay, let's hear this one.
Right, are you familiar with the phrase burning the candle at both ends?
Yeah.
Do you know how it's come about?
I know a man who does.
I assumed that it was to get more light in the room.
How would that work?
Well, they'd put it sideways and light both wicks, so out of one candle they could get two. No, go on.
No, what it is...
I know what it means. It means you're doing too much, you're staying up too much, you're not getting enough sleep, and you're...
Well, years ago...
Yeah.
When they didn't have light bulbs and that.
Oh yeah, what year is this? Literally ages ago, specifically.
Yeah, quite a bit back.
Okay.
Didn't have light bulbs and that, so they used to have candles
When did the light bulb come in? Because I can't remember at the moment.
I don't know.
Okay, go on.
So, Yeah, so they've got a light bulb.
You're not, you wouldn't know, you're a doctor, you're not a historian, go on.
And people who worked a lot of hours. Yeah.
How many? Literally lots?
They get up early in the morning because they have to be up early.
Yeah.
And it's dark outside, so they light the candle.
Sure.
And they wear it out a bit. And then they'd be getting in late as well.
Yeah.
And like, they'd be like, oh, it's dark, I'll have to light the candle again. And they're burning candle at both ends of the day. So that's where the saying comes from, burning the candle at both ends. So.
Alright.
That's a little lesson.
Yeah.
Lesson one.
Okay. Can I have...
No, you can't have
You
another
can't
one
rush
yet.
into them, Rick. You've got to...
I've got to soak in that.
You've got to soak that one in. Any questions for Karl off the back of that?
What do you think?
So people were, I mean, basically where this comes from is people were...
Literally burning the candle at both ends of the day.
Sure.
There you go. So we've still got...
Go on.
I'm committed to this treatment. And
I can't wait. This is like Christmas
Rick,
Eve for me. It's like Christmas. I've got to open another present now.
No, I'm afraid we've got to save it. Rick, listen, we often get a lot of email correspondence during the show, Rick, which I don't sort of pass on to you because, I mean, you're busy, you're planning the show and stuff, you've got a lot of ideas, you've got music and stuff to worry about. So I check the emails, and we get a lot of response, a lot of people obviously, you know, want to give us feedback. Just a sample one, from Richard Anderson. He's just emailed us in here, Rick, because he's been listening to the show. He says, Ricky, your show is appalling. Are you actually aware you're on the radio, or has someone just secretly stuck a microphone on you? That's from Richard Anderson. So that's typical of the kind of feedback, Rick, we're getting today. So,
it's that good, is it?
So that's the kind of, high positive praise that we're getting. So,
I'm glad Anderson's listening, because I wanted him... I was gunning for him as a fan.
I was worried that
early on in our career, so I think he's hooked now, though.
But thanks, Anders, for getting in touch. Good work.
He's sitting through it for Hellraiser, though, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's still to come, of course, Rockbusters.
Still to come. What we're playing?
A bit of old dirty I can't say the word, it's offensive. Old
Is it
ODB.
bollocks? Is it old dirty bollocks?
No.
What is it?
Old dirty...
Old dirty big cock? What is it?
I can't tell you, it's offensive.
Breaks up.
Brilliant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Funny word, isn't it? It's a funny word.
What other funny words are there,
Although
Karl?
XFM's a funny word, I just say the letters out, because the word doesn't make sense.
Just, let me just check Richard Anderson's email again, just remind myself of...
Go on.
Ricky, your show is appalling. Richard Anderson, thanks. What I like about, Dickie Anders is that he's obviously so angry, he's so annoyed by the show, that he's bothered to email just to get the venom out. Otherwise, you just think you'd switch over. Well, he's obviously so annoyed, he
knows how to hurt someone as well.
Exactly. He's really taken the time out to show his disapproval.
Of giving up.
I tell you what, though, it is pretty hard to listen to.
What, this?
Yeah.
I've listened back to the tape, that when you're making that thing for the best of.
Yeah.
And I mean, I sounded like Albert Taplock. I really sounded like some sort of punch-drunk stroke victim. And oh, there you go. I was gonna say, I don't remember myself like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do apologise. It's not a great planned show, slick word of articulate sentence, is it? But, I mean, then, who is?
But I think, there's so many shows that are, nowadays on radio. I think there's a lot of stuff that's heavily formatted, and there's with, I don't know, presenters who are professional and have got some sort of degree of talent.
Yeah.
And an ability to sort of string a sentence together. I'm thinking Chris Moyles.
Yeah.
Predominantly.
Yeah. But, I mean, I'm bored with those slick people,
exactly.
I think we need a little bit of Karl in our life.
I'm just thinking, actually, I've just suddenly struck me, if you want to get rid of your furniture.
Got a buyer.
You've already got a buyer.
Got a buyer.
Because if there's any other stuff, we were clearing some stuff out of our place recently, and we just dumped some stuff outside on the street, because we were going to take it and take it to the tip later. Just dump some stuff outside. And I have never seen so many people come out of the woodwork scavenging through our garbage. It was incredible. They were like zombies.
Well, that's what I was saying.
They were like flies around shit.
But when I said to Karl,
that's what you should just do, just dump it outside, because it'll get taken.
When he went, he said, do you think I asked enough, 100? I went, yes, definitely. He went, oh, I could ask what? I said, no, don't do that. I said, because you'll end up having to pay the council to take it away. He said, I wouldn't. He said, I'd rather just dump it and let a little homeless fella have it. And then he went, imagine the little homeless fella sitting at the desk.
Can you imagine, right, I walk past, he's sat outside Hearts, right, the little 24-hour shop. Yeah. He's sat outside there and he goes, have you got any change? And I go, I can do better than that.
Yeah, here's a chair and table.
Here's a futon. Yeah. A futon, no less. Not your boring bed, but a trendy... Yeah.
Well, but the thing is, amazing the number of people that would stop to look at our junk. There was a car driving by with a family and kids, perfectly respectable, just driving past, you know, on the way to somewhere, stopped, got out, got the kids out of the car, come on kids, let's just look through this junk. But I like the idea
You said we were going to Walton Towers, Dad.
No, sorry, no time. We're not going to the zoo. Let's look through this rubbish.
We're not going looking through people's rubbish
Put
again,
these gloves on, look through this shit.
Ow! That's a needle.
That's a needle. It was, I mean, who does that? It was like a Saturday afternoon. Kids were just gonna go and look through some rubbish. And one guy, this is the most incredible one, one guy, I caught him going through the bins as I came in. I said, alright, what are you doing? He was one of those homeless guys who likes to remain dignified.
Why did you say, what are you doing?
Well, because it was my house, I had to go I had to squeeze past him.
He wasn't in your kitchen.
He was in our front garden.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, going through rubbish. He'd torn the bags open, he was going through it. I said to him, what you up to? He went, oh yeah, just looking at stuff. Don't worry, I'll clean it all up afterwards, just looking for a few odds and ends, blah, 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 blah. I said, oh well, you can take what you want, you know, it's all going away. Yeah, thanks very much, thanks, yeah. So we went off, right, I didn't think anything of it. I was walking past the shops the following day, there's a little sort of, kind of 7-Eleven, right, I was walking past. I thought, oh, that's interesting. A Gil Scott Heron album for sale. And I looked, I thought, wait a minute, this is all our rubbish. And the guy had set up like a little car boot sale outside the 7-Eleven on the pavement. He'd taken our junk, he'd marked on prices. There's like an old RAC book from 1976 that had been lying in the house, a Yellow Pages, you know, and he'd marked up the
prices. How much is
Yellow
Pages?
So I'm glad you asked.
What year was
50p, I snapped it up. I thought that's a bargain. And, it was incredible, the cheek of just selling our junk outside.
Enterprise, Carl. You did that. What did you used to do? You didn't used to sell flowers?
I sold flowers. I sold fizzy drinks at school.
Did you?
Yeah.
What that you made?
It was Soda Stream, yeah. Made some,
Well, of course, when you were doing your Pilkies Making Music, your disco, you used to go into Mum's bedroom and find a pair of tights and a cigar.
Yeah, they'd be prizes.
Did your dad used to smoke cigars in tights, or your mum? Which one of them used to... Go on.
Right, look, let's,
Yeah, we're educating Ricky.
No. We'll tease him that. Rockbusters.
Well, I think we should play a tune and come back with Rockbusters.
Oh, the show's fallen down, we were going so well. No, it's just the energy, isn't it? The first hour we got through.
I'm still in good spirits.
Is this still good, is it, this show?
I'm enjoying it, yeah.
Yeah? It's still good, is it?
Let me just check, just check what Richard Anderson thinks of it.
Good evening, man, again.
No, he thinks it's appalling. No, the Dixter thinks it's appalling, so, we should play a tune, because he prefers the music.
Bit of Aqualung.
Aqualung.
Rockbusters next.
I like that, that's great, isn't it? Aqualung. Good time's gonna come. Well, Carl, we've got loads of ideas. We've got emails coming left, right and centre. I think you've caused quite a stir. I think you've turned this show around, to be honest. I'm being, honestly. Yeah, no, you've done really well. You're actually acting a bit like a producer, isn't he? And, you're coming through in your own right.
Yeah.
We've had a great suggestion.
We've had a great email here. Let me just check
this, Carl.
Let me just check. This is from Jeff Dunn. He's a big fan of the show, and he's just had a genius idea. He's saying, "You're moving house, Carl. Why don't Ricky and I come round? We can do a live outside broadcast from your flat. We can observe from your kitchen those weirdos that live opposite. Yeah. We can maybe just wander around, just see the kind of place that you've got. You know, maybe check out your record collection, your clothes, what you got in the bathroom.
It'd be amazing.
Your futon.
It'd be like Louis Theroux, wouldn't it? We'd be Louis Theroux."
Come on, Carl, this is a dynamite idea.
Nah.
Why?
I don't want you coming around making a mess and that.
We won't make a mess.
One person will take our shoes off.
When have I ever made a mess in the studio?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
but do you know what I mean?
We're not gonna make a mess. We're not gonna have anything with us.
But what's in it for anyone?
Well, it's just a fascinating insight into you.
Yeah, but, right, when I see that little Chinese kid across the road who's dancing about in his underpants, that's in the evening, right? He's not gonna be doing that on a Saturday. So you'll be disappointed there.
Sure.
That old woman.
But you could at least show us the room in which he dances.
Yeah, when you say little Chinese kid, he's a 35-year-old man, isn't he?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah. But anyway, that's beside the point. You know, we'll find our own amusement.
No, I don't. And the woman downstairs has got a baby, and if we make loads of noise and that gets stressed out.
We're not gonna make noise, are we? Just gonna have a conversation in your flat. Have a cup of tea.
Yeah, but if we're doing OB, we need to get, like, a car outside with a big aerial on it, and the parking's bad round our way.
What do you mean you have to do what do you mean?
To do an outside broadcast.
Can't they put in an ISDN line just for the dance?
No, because I'll make a mess of the wall, and I won't get my deposit back. So, we'll leave that. Thanks for the idea.
You know, he's going around painting all the little holes, to get his deposit back in the wall. He wants to get his deposit back. He's probably cost him about 400 quid redecorating.
Let's remind people, Carl, of the prizes for Rockbusters this week. It's dynamite stuff. We've got the David Attenborough DVD Nature Collection. We've got a number of CDs, the best of David Bowie. We've got a Madness CD, not quite sure whether that's songs, from the musical or their original tunes. Country Legends, 2 CDs there of great country music.
Brilliant.
And the, remix to XFM compilation. Plus, of course, the big movie prize this week. Hellraiser! If you haven't seen it already, then I assume you have never seen a film before. Because I don't know if there's anyone who hasn't seen Hellraiser. But obviously you have to be above 18 to join, to play the competition.
Come on in.
So,
How long would you want to be around for? Is this just for the...
Just for the show. A couple of hours.
2 hours. Just get the desk in there. A live OB.
We could check out the futon, we could sing its praises.
Check the fault in, right? Yeah. Oh, you might have sold that by now.
In fact, we could have someone come round and buy it live on air.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Think about it. Think about it.
Great.
How did Graceland start? 'Cause that was... that was his normal house, and then he took over. Right, anyway, Rockbusters.
Yeah, go on.
I give a cryptic clue.
Yeah.
And a letter, and it makes up a band,
He
right?
never said the word cryptic a few months ago. I love it. Do you know what I mean? I feel it's like our own little Eliza Doolittle.
Yes.
Right, even Richard will like this one. Here we go then. First one. There's 3 of them,
go on.
and you email in.
If this doesn't turn Dickie round, nothing will.
This is an email-only competition.
Email only. Right, here's the first one. Initial is B, so it's
B.
a band starting with B.
Okay.
And the cryptic clue is, I don't like them birds, they shouldn't be allowed in this area.
I don't like them birds, they shouldn't be allowed in this area. Next one.
Right, the next one. He doesn't like women, yet he's got a couple of kids, that's a bit weird.
Is that a cryptic clue, or is that just...
Is that just a
general point?
Is that
That's the cryptic clue.
Okay.
And the initials there are PD.
Okay.
And, the last one,
I've got that one. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Okay, quickly.
Oh, God.
And the last one is, that bloke who does...
Come on!
It's making me laugh.
Come on, Carl, be professional.
Right, the last one. Right. I can't do it, it's making me laugh.
Oh, come on, I'll come and read them then.
No, hang on,
Come on, Carl.
Right, here we go.
They don't do this on Blockbusters on TV, do they?
No, come on.
That bloke who does sport on telly. He's got a little kid, right? Initials DC.
What? Is that
I'm
the
completely
clue?
confused by that.
Was that the clue?
Yeah, that bloke who does sport on telly.
Yeah.
He's got a little kid. Initials DC.
Okay, is that a band? Or an artist?
It's, well, I'm not gonna tell you.
Cheese.
I'm not
This is
gonna
a
tell you.
well-known sandwich. Is it, what is it? Is it a band or an
Right,
artist?
so just quickly recap. That's,
Okay.
it's a
Come on, Carl.
Right,
Come on.
quick recap. The first one is B. I don't think them birds should be around in this area. Right, that's B. Right? Second one, he doesn't like women, yet he's got a few kids. It's a bit weird. That's PD. And the final one, that bloke who does sport on the telly, he's got a little kid. Right? DC.
Alright, and it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you want to enter for, Hellraiser.
Oh, I'll tell you what, continue to do that little theme here of like some old stuff people haven't heard of. If you're under 30, you probably never heard of this band. It's also a new thing I want to introduce. It's Show Up Camfield. Camfield talks the talk, he doesn't walk the walk, he doesn't play some rock classics on his show, because he's scared. I'm gonna play the tracks that Camfield's too scared to play. This is Kansas and Carry On Your Wayward Son, alright? Raw, Nirvana.
Amazing.
We were just talking, we were getting excited with that,
Yeah,
weren't
you've
we?
got an incredible voice he has.
And Grohl, drumming, it's brilliant. You Know You're Right, the new one from Nirvana. Well, it's time for Educating Ricky Part 2, isn't it? I'm excited, Carl. I'm gonna learn so much from this. What's the choices again? What
Right, you've got left.
Still keep phoning your answers to,
Email.
Email, sorry, yeah.
The answers to Rockbusters.
Yeah.
Right, okay, Educating Ricky, Part 2.
Right. I'm committed to this treatment.
Yeah.
Is one. of them.
I've gotta go for that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or the other one is the police are causing a bit of a stir.
He still says it like it's the best thing he's ever come up with, which in a way it is.
It could be. Right, go on then. I'm committed to this treatment.
Right. Do you know the saying?
Is it just sayings now? Are they all sayings this week?
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, the other one isn't. Frog in your throat?
The saying, there's a frog in your throat?
Yeah.
I assume it's, when you, croak a little bit. You sound like a frog.
No. Right. Might seem a bit weird, this one, right? But years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, what is that clue? Committed to this treatment?
It's about frogs kermitted.
Is Probably works better with a K and an ER written down.
Well, also, if you'd pronounced it Kermitted.
Yeah.
But not committed.
Committed to this treatment! Right, go on then.
That's genius.
So yeah.
For what?
You go to the doctors and you go with throat hurting a bit.
Right.
And what they did ages ago.
Ages ago? What year was this approximately?
We are going back quite a bit with this one.
Oh, okay, go on.
And the doctor would say,
did history. Imagine years ago, go on.
and the doctor would say, right, keep your mouth open, I need to look at your tonsils. And the jaw would ache a bit, because they weren't as quick back then, because they didn't have the technology and stuff, and they'd have to, like, stare at it and study it and stuff. And, like, they get an achy jaw, right?
Keeping their mouth open.
Yeah, like, you get, you know,
Yeah.
when you eat a Mars bar or whatever, it's like, so, they'd sat there, and they used to always close their mouth, and it used to annoy the doctor, right? So what they did, they used to get a toad,
right,
and put it in the mouth.
Rubbish.
Okay, keep talking. Keep talking.
And, that way, they couldn't close the mouth, because either they'd squash it,
right,
or, apparently, you're not allowed to, lick a toad's back.
So the doctor would have them for breaking the law?
No, but it's poisonous, right? A toad's back. You should never lick a toad's back.
Or put it in your mouth, really.
Oh, just stop for a second.
Wait. What?
Can I just ask one question?
Go on, yeah,
go on.
I've got a few, but go on.
Sure. My initial thought is, it sounds like a brilliant bit of sort of medical, knowledge there. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
My only thought is, how does the doctor see past the toad? At your tonsils?
What's he actually looking at with the mouth open? Surely the toad is in the way.
Hopping around in the way?
It didn't say.
Sorry, and my first question is, was this on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Carl, that is bollocks. That is, I mean,
Well, alright then. Let's turn this round. Where does the saying, you got a frog in your throat come from?
probably because you sound a bit croaky. Probably that. Probably because you sound a little bit like a frog when you've got a sore throat.
Carl, did you not question it just for a moment when you read it? Just for a second, didn't you think, that seems an odd approach? Firstly, why a frog, of all the different species?
Because it's poisonous. A toad.
So it's a toad as well?
Yeah, well, it worked. I'm Kermitted worked.
No, I
was gonna change it to, have you heard the news Toad Day? But I went with the frog.
Oh God!
Right, so
that's rubbish. So that's rubbish. Next, can I have,
Let's play a tune, let's come up with the last one. Can I just say, no, just play it.
Yeah?
Yo, Carl.
I have to thank my, mate Dave, who sent me an incredible 4-disc compilation. That was one of the tunes on there.
It looks professional, it's amazing.
It's incredible, yeah. Oh, he's gone to too much effort. Ben Queller, it's a track called In Other Words from his album Sha Sha.
Open wide. Oh dear, that's interesting. Oh, is it, Doctor? You've actually got a frog in your throat. I didn't get there. I put it in there. That's the most ludicrous story I've ever heard, Carl. Why don't you think when you read these things?
I think there's always going to be a bit of truth in all of these. I mean, that fella called up, didn't he, and said, I'm not sure about the, putting a frog in your throat if you got, problems with your tonsils or whatever. But he said, years ago, if someone had toothache, they'd get hold of a frog and strap it to the face.
Yeah, sure.
So, maybe, down the line, maybe they did. Maybe they did.
I think Caligula made his emperor, a horse and emperor as well, but I mean, it doesn't. Go
on. Dick Anderson's been back in touch.
Excellent.
I think, so he's obviously.
We've turned him round, well, he loves it now.
He's been tuning in,
he loves it now.
He says, Ricky, thanks for a really forgettable 2 hours of radio. I think I'll spend the time next week counting my feet. That's from Richard Anderson. So, we've turned him round.
Do you know where the phrase counting my feet comes from? Well, in the olden days, right, and I'm talking ages ago, when you really loved something, you used to, as a sign of respect, like, say, a radio show, you'd count your feet. And that's where that comes from, Carl.
Well, what about the frog thing with a poisonous back?
It's rubbish.
That's true. No, the toads have, the secretions in the
Why?
But they didn't put it in people's mouths.
No, so, well, I'll tell you why. When a badger or a heron tastes the toad, it's horrible. Ugh. The toad might die, but it's for the good of the species, because then, think how many toads, looking like that heron could eat in its lifetime. So, the fact that one toad sacrificed itself, all those other toads, in that heron's manner, will be safe.
Why? I mean, we've talked about animals a lot. on the show, right?
Yeah.
And when God made a toad...
Sure.
Right, okay, well,
So
go on,
you
I'm gonna
say-
stop you there, I'm gonna stop you there straight away.
Don't. Just let him carry on.
Right.
Okay.
Like, there's annoying things out there, you know, jellyfish is a big problem with me. I don't understand what they do in the sea and stuff.
Right.
Right, but we'll leave them.
God's
right?
a problem for me, but go on.
We won't talk about jellyfish.
No.
With the toad, right, if it's to protect itself,
Yeah.
right, now
No, it's not to
say...
protect itself, it's to protect his species.
No, yeah, but that, surely, right, if the toad had a choice, if God said, right, what I'm gonna do for you here, you can have something like a lobster's got claws, big claws to have a fight. Or, I can give you something that if someone's having a go at you, you've got to try and persuade them to lick you back. As a defence.
Yeah.
What use is, right,
Oh, God's...
Well, I'll tell you why.
What is God
The
up
fact
to?
that there are still toads around is a testament to that defence working. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay? If the toad had died out, you'd have a point. But they're still around. It works. Alright?
And don't start slagging God off. He's got a lot on his plate. Basically, I think he took on too much.
Particularly in 1 week.
Exactly, it was crazy.
Danger High Voltage, Electric 6, XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. Carl's getting all flustered because I put an elastic band around his head. And we've had a definition of,
Well, hang on a
frog
sec,
in the throat.
because there's an update to that, Rick.
Go on.
We did just have, one, definition here of, a frog in the throat. Apparently this has come from some, internet site, so who knows, how convincing it is, but it says frog in the throat, meaning suffering from temporary hoarseness, needing to clear the throat. Origin from the Old English frogger, meaning hoarseness. That's from Chris. Now that sounds slightly suspect to me.
Why?
But, frogger? I mean, it seems odd that it would derive from that when it so clearly appears to be, you sound like a frog when you have a sore throat.
Yeah, but the word frog could come from Frogger, because it
Frogger.
sounds like it's
I think
croaky.
wasn't Frogger a game you could play on the
Yeah,
on
on
the
the
Spectrum?
Spectrum,
That's a great
yeah.
game. But
Yeah.
listen, hang on, there's an update to that because just to
Common frog, of course, Rana temporara, that's the Latin name.
Well,
Your toad is Buffo Buffo.
you
Alright?
may be trying to show off, but I think you're about to embarrass yourself as
Go
well,
on.
because you've been slagging off young Karl.
Yeah.
It says here, another email, it doesn't tell us who it's from. Although it's hard to believe now, at one time, medieval physicians believed that the secretions of a frog could cure a cough if they were coated on the throat of the patient. That in itself
Yeah.
sounds repulsive, but what makes the idea even worse is the application of the secretions. Instead of painting the treatment on, something which may also have seemed rational, a live frog was placed into the mouth of the sufferer, where it remained until the physician decided that the treatment was complete.
Right.
Apparently Shakespeare's son-in-law, that's a question mark, I don't know what that means. Anyway, it's no wonder that today a froggy or croaky attempt at speech is said to be a frog in your throat. So, you can see that what's happened there is Karl's misread, or been slightly misinformed about, a medieval practice. In a sense, you're both winners, just for taking part. What's your final one, Karl?
Right, the final story is, the police are causing a bit of a stir.
I can't wait.
It's about this fella, I think it's in England somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't know when it happened, but,
Literally ages ago, or?
well, I think it's when they were trying to crack down on, like, drunken people walking about in the street.
Oh, yeah.
And they found this fella.
Saturday. Be Saturday, that one.
And, found this fella, and, all the local people were saying, oh, look at him wandering around, he's drunk and what have you. That's not right. Get the police in. He got arrested and that, and they got him in the court. And, the judge was there, and he says, so, you know, what's all this? What's going on? What are you doing wandering about when you've had a drink? You know the rules. You shouldn't be doing that. You had a glazed expression on your face. Blah, blah, blah. What do you have to say for yourself? He only had a glass eye.
So
that
you have
was-
2 glass eyes?
No, he had one. But that
Okay.
was, they were about to sort of lock him up.
Was he a
What,
bit pissed
yeah.
up as well?
Well, he was pretty livid.
But was he also drunk with a glass eye?
No, that's
Oh,
the
right.
weird thing. He wasn't even, he hadn't even had a drink.
So they just thought, because he had a weird stare.
Because his eyes were all glazed.
Yeah. Where'd you get this from? Why are you telling me this? No, but why are you telling me this? I mean, thank you, because it's, you know, killed a couple of minutes, but why is this educating me? What are you telling me here?
Because there's a bit of a thing there, a bit of a fable, that don't always judge a book by its cover. Yeah? So, the guy, he hadn't even had a drink. He'd probably just been shopping,
Yeah.
walking down the street, and everyone's, like, getting involved. Like, what's he doing? He shouldn't.
Hang on, I don't understand. He's walking down the street, happens to have a glass eye. He was doing nothing else to suggest he was drunk. You don't pick people up just because their eye looks slightly
Oh.
off.
But even if it happened, why are you telling me? With no particular detail. I know this, but then we're gonna get
It's not
people...
enough information.
I know, yeah.
No, there's a bit of a lesson there, educating Ricky. Just, you know, just watch what you say. Don't always jump to conclusions.
The only education I can take from that is that, if I ever do become a policeman, I shouldn't just arrest people because they look a bit drunk. I should just tap their eye with a pen and goes, oh, okay, on you go.
Well,
on you go, yeah.
Guys, can I just stop you there? I'm just gonna email Richard Anderson and tell him I agree.
right, listen, we're running out of time and that.
We've got where did the phrase frog in the throat come from?
We've got
it here, it's been told.
Well, there's three.
Can we play a tune and come back with that? Have we got anything lined up?
Yeah, we've got the song with a story in it.
Come on, Carl, let's do something. Quick, play a record.
Song with a story in it.
But never
this
mind
week.
that, just, they're listening. We discussed this off air, come on. Play a record.
Right, it's Kinks.
Kinks.
It's a song with a good story in it. You gotta listen to the words.
Carl, what was that? That was your little song with a story,
that's another little feature that we do every Saturday.
So make sure you tune in.
It's a song that's got a good story in it. There's a lot of music about these
What's
days.
that story about then? What's that story
you
about?
don't know what they're going on about. Whereas that, classic from the Kinks, called Lola.
Yeah, what's it about?
I'd listened to it for the first time properly this morning.
Yeah.
And what I've worked out from it is a fella who goes out for a normal Saturday night out. He's in Soho.
Yeah.
He's having a Coca-Cola or whatever. And he sees this woman, and he thinks, yeah, she's alright.
Yeah.
Won't mind a bit of that. So he wanders over, and he sort of gets talking to her. He looks at her, and she's got a great figure, nice face and all that.
Lovely knob.
And she speaks, and he goes, oh God. Got a bit of a bloke's voice.
Yeah.
Got a bit of a voice like a bloke. But he thought, but, you know, that's her only down point.
Sure.
So he dances around with her, and I think he sits on his knee, I think he said.
Yeah.
Anyway, it turns out it's a fella.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
a sobering lesson.
Yeah.
What do you take from that?
Look, always sort of, if you think you might be talking to, a
bloke in
who's
drag.
just look at his sort of Adam's apple. And he'll probably have a hairier arse than a woman.
Yeah, I think you've gone too far then, though. I think you're already getting too close.
It's a bit late to pull out.
No pun intended, definitely.
There was a pun intended.
Oh, was it? Alright, was it?
Yes.
Alright, okay, we don't be disgusting then. Right, okay, right, the results of, Rockbusters.
We ain't got a winner for the first time.
Yes, we have,
we've
we've
done
got
this
loads.
feature for...
We've got loads of winners.
No, we haven't. We've done this feature for 3 weeks. This is the first time I've managed to sort of...
What?
Well, let's go through them then.
What have they got wrong?
The first one.
The first one?
What was the
first
clue?
one, yeah, the first one.
Well, hang on, let's do them in reverse order first. So what's the last one?
The last one, the clue was, that bloke does sport on the telly and he's got a little kid.
What's that?
That's Destiny's Child. Des, who does ITV Sport.
That's
He's got
terrible,
a tiniest
man.
child, right? No,
That's terrible.
fine,
Yeah,
they got that.
okay,
Destiny's Child. What's the middle one?
Right, the middle one. Right.
Child.
The second one was, he doesn't like women, yet he's got a couple of kids, that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Right? That was PD, that was Puff Daddy.
That is offensive. Go on.
But it's not Puff Daddy. It's Puff Daddy. And he's not even called that anymore, he's called P. Diddy.
Well...
Okay, fair enough.
But they got that one.
Yeah.
And if I'm being tight, these lot are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tight means something in Manchester. Go on.
Right? And the first one that they're having problems with, I don't think them birds should be allowed in this area.
They've got it. Boyzone.
It's not Boyzone.
What's the clue again?
I don't think them birds should be allowed in this area.
That is perfect. A boyzone. No birds.
No women.
No women, yeah, birds, right? A boyzone. Sorry, Carl. If that isn't the answer, their clue is better than yours. That is brilliant. What was yours? Boyzone, it works perfectly.
What's your answer then?
Bangles.
I have no idea what that means.
Like seagulls. So you don't want them in this area, so you're banning them. Bangles.
Oh! Well, give it to Boyzone, because Boyzone's better. There is birds being allowed in this area, it's a Boyzone.
I think we should have a rollover. Carl beat them. Carl beat them. You have to use his logic, surely.
But theirs works. You can't do what am I thinking. No, that's not what I'm thinking. It works perfectly. I think you've got to give it to the ones that got the Boyzone.
Well, how about, right, because they didn't actually get into my head. And my way
Well,
of thinking,
heaven
right?
forbid.
How about we just keep back the David Attenborough, and they can have, I'll chuck in the Hellraiser, right?
Okay.
Most of you.
And, Blondie album and the Madness
Yeah,
one.
okay, pick a winner at random.
Pick a winner, Steve.
I'm gonna give it to Paul Sloman, who got those answers, and he also says, P.S. Carl, you're a moron. So, I'm giving that to Paul, and good luck to him.
Right, well.
He's got a crazy night tonight. If we can rush these over to him, he's got a cracking Saturday night.
Well, if I'm a moron, I might get your address wrong when I send them to you.
Ooh! Coming right back at you, Paul.
Yes. Right. John, play your song.
Is this Carl's annoyed because they didn't get banned goals.
A song for the ladies. I think we seem to have missed this a lot of weeks, but this is. I've been wanting to play this.
It's not like us to forget things that happen.
This is a band Frente who kind of came and went, and no one was particularly interested. But they did this lovely acoustic version of the New Order tune, "Bizarre Love Triangle," and this just shows you how incredible the melodies and the words and everything are.
Brilliant.
New Order. Just play this.
Good night.
Songs for the ladies. Is this the week?
Do you reckon Richard Anderson will be back next week?
Yeah, Richard Anderson will not miss this show.
Excellent.